I've been waiting.
Chronic.
And we're live, pal.
Whoa!
So, joining me tonight, this is the worst interview show in the Dabbleverse. Joining me tonight, who's taking part in this experiment to help me become the next Joe Rogan, is Matt Hibner. Matt Hibner's a up and coming content creator and just an all around swell guy.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And that's all the time we have tonight, Matt. So say your plugs.
Butt and mouth.
Okay. There we go. So, just jumping into it, because in my journey to become one day by 2035 a competent interviewer of some point, one of the things I wanted to ask you, growing up, is you are one of the anomalies in this adjacent Dabbleverse type deal, where you didn't come from the Dabbleverse at all. You come from the Bimmyverse. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to do is go back in time and just tell me about how you discovered our good friend, the angry video game nerd, at one point known as the angry Nintendo nerd, until someone said, "Hey, you're eventually gonna get a do not do this anymore notice from Nintendo." So if you wanted to take me back in time to how you discovered that.
Okay, so I was fucking a fat girl.
Oh, yes.
And
okay.
She had a very nice Christian upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason that made her a big fat whore.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the movie theater to go see Tropic Thunder, and she was giving me head in the back row of the theater.
Yes.
During the part of the movie where they go around parading the head on the stick, and he's like, "It's not a real head," and he's touching it and tasting it and shit. I fucking lose my shit, bro. That was so funny. And I'm getting head while I'm watching a severed head, and I'm just like, it's visceral, it's psychological. I can't focus right now. So I said, "Hey, look, let's just walk out of the movie theater. Let's go back to your pad. Let's go fuck around." And we did. And it's kind of like, have you ever moved a refrigerator by yourself?
By myself? Well, I've moved it a few inches to clean it, but that's about it.
Yeah, something like that. And after I was done doing that, she's like, "Do you want to watch this funny guy? They video games, because she liked games, I like games." And lo and behold, it was Bimmy, and back when he was Nintendo nerd.
Okay.
I think Back to the Future or Ninja Turtles had just come out, so it was third or fourth episode or something like that, early. And I laughed my ass off, and I thought, man, as good as Tropic Thunder was, this guy's pretty funny too. And and I didn't think much of it at the time. It was just it's a funny sketch, it's whatever. And but then every week, new stuff, better stuff. Always a new bar, just always going higher and higher. And for a few years, I mean, that guy was just the guy on YouTube.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I don't got to go on about him for too long. I mean, everybody knows him. Everybody knows how influential he was. And because of that, he decides one day that he's going to write an autobiography, which is half made up of college diary notes and a bunch of fluff from the movies that he failed to make. And so Dylan finds, the book, and him and Spur Snake do a 10-part series covering the whole book. And my subreddit finds it, posts it, and immediately I'm hooked. I'm like, these guys are doing intellectual breakdown of Bimmy, which is something that, people have done commentaries, whatever, but like now we have this book. We have it from his fucking mouth. There's no more conjecture about bulls or fucking drugs. Or, we know at least what he's willing to tell us. And they did what's called reading between the lines, and they read novels between those lines. So I was in the chat fucking around, and that's how they somehow knew about me. When I decided to leave my trolling position and go back to being a regular person, I made a farewell video, and Spurg Snake found it and left a comment saying like, "Oh, are you really going to quit or whatever?" And I thought, damn, I didn't even know this guy watches me. And now as I'm walking out the door, he's like saying goodbye. I didn't even know he was there. But still I left, and my lolcow said that he would never ever ban me from the chat so long as we parted ways on amicable terms. It was a peaceful ending. But then he slams the door in my ass on the way out and bans me when he said that he wouldn't. So it's like, I really can't say farewell now because then I would be a cuck, And I also can't stay quiet because then I'm a cuck. So what's the logical thing for a troll to do when the lolcow kicks you? You got to fight back. So that's when I started clipping him way more. I started really kind of ripping into him. And I've always been like a thorn in his side, especially when I was in his Discord and part of his community. As you know, he is a Bimmy commentator as well, just like Dylan, just like Red Cow. There's many Bimmy commentators. Out of all of them, he's the most narcissistic. He's got blind spots. And at a certain point, I actually started, I trolled him pretty hard, and I felt bad for him. So I was like, hey, man, I'll make like videos for your channel, or I'll do whatever to like contribute, right? He didn't want no part of that shit. Even people that he really likes, he doesn't want like, other people in his shit. So that makes it kind of funny to me. Like, he's a control freak. He has a bunch of sycophants that like love everything he does unquestionably. And it's a bizarre community to be a part of. I had fun trolling, and I don't know. Now I started hanging out with Dylan and Snake, and it's like, oh, there's actually, people online that I do want to talk to, which I haven't talked to anybody online since, I don't know, like 2002 or 3 years. Like, I don't talk to people online. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like this. It's like, okay, like, I never really wanted to, even back in like the old, you pretty much were only in like shitty like Yahoo chat rooms, or like maybe you found like a message board of a community of stuff that you were interested in. And the stuff that I'm, been mostly interested in has always been like wrestling. And like, so slowly but surely, I mean, I think how it is too. It's like someone digs your sense of humor, you dig someone else's sense of humor, and you start interacting with certain people more and more, and then the message, and then it's almost like an evolution of that. It's like at some point, it's like you eventually share the email. Now we're talking like in the olden times. That's not how it is now. But like, because like I mean, I've met people in real life from the old timey message boards, which is so weird to me. One of my best friends growing up met a girl on the Chris Jericho wrestling board, and he lived in Virginia and she lived in Canada, and this son of a bitch hopped the border and moved in and married a woman and went to another country altogether from a message board, which I'm sure to you and B, that just sounds like, what? And I'm sure to a lot of people, that's like, What? But no, I get that too. So, um, I guess it's like, so do you still troll this troll? What's his face? This lol troll dude.
Oh, well, it's Dancing with Ghosts, which is
Uh
it's a funny ass name to begin with.
huh.
It lends itself well to mockery, such as my character is called Crying in the Closet, but there's also been like Weeping in the Corner, and
Yes.
the subreddit has kind of had its way. The subreddit is called the Cinemassacre Truth,
Yeah.
and the reason why the subreddit even exists at all is when Bimmy went to Hollywood to make his movie, he left his right hand man in charge of the channel and said, make content, keep the fans happy, whatever it takes. And that's when Mike Matei started making weird shit, like the Gadget Minecraft video, the infamous Elmo and Grouchland video, some pretty wild, cringy shit.
Oh, I remember that now. I buried that in my brain. I forgot all about that. And that was
Sorry.
like, and
Sorry.
and if I recall correctly, that's when the bloom fell off the rose for Mike Matei. Like, he could do no wrong up until that point. And then he made, well, it's not avant-garde, but it's just weird, dumb shit that's not good.
Yes. And people told him, hey, this is not good. You're making Bimmy look bad, And he did not take kindly to that at all. So he decided to troll the original subreddit was just the Cinemassacre or the Cinemassacre, whatever. And he went on there and started banning everybody. And he started showing, that's when he showed the dick pic, the fake dick pic that he got from the gay porn site.
Yeah.
Right. And started saying it was his dick and whatever. And he became a bastard at a certain point and then very, very close to Lowcow. So we broke away. We made our own subreddit. That's the Cinemassacre Truth.
Okay.
We're far larger than the real subreddit. And there's a third subreddit called AVGN subreddit. That's kind of the middle of the road. I featured them on a video I did called Master Comments Theater.
Okay.
Where I explored the two different subreddits and how they don't agree on too much, right? All three subreddits are very different in their view of Bimmy. But one thing they do all agree on is that Dancing with Ghosts is kind of a Lowcow, and as Dylan calls him, criminally under-trolled, which I do agree with.
And you're just getting the first taste of something new I just learned how to do just now. And fans, you just saw me do it too. I learned how to put a comment on the screen. And it says that Minecraft with Gadget video is absolute cinema. It's absolute sains.
I'm going to give Narm a shout out. Narm is my right-hand man from the Discord days. And him and I was bad cop. He was good cop. And he wasn't too good. He's kind of a middle of the road cop, I should say. But we had a lot of fun in that subreddit, in that Discord, in the Dancing with Ghosts Discord. We made a lot of memes about him and jokes about him, and we always did it in but we're really fans though, right? Like, yeah, I sucker punched him, but it's like we're brothers, it's all good. As I'm calling him all kinds of horrible things and making funny ass memes, and I would take his head, like I would like Photoshop his head onto all kinds of shit that just. To this day, I thought, what the hell was I doing with my time? I feel bad. I'm an old ass troll from the Chris Chan days, and even kind of before that, I told myself I wasn't going to troll anybody anymore, and I came out of retirement for this guy. He should be flattered, truly, because I'm the best troll he's ever had. I'm the only really notable troll he's had, and the fact that anybody gives him time, he should be thanking us. So.
That's awesome. I mean, to me, it's like, I guess if I went through like my AVGN history, I kind of discovered it like a lot of other people. I didn't get to discover it while watching a severed head while getting head, though. It was just more or less just clicking around on YouTube one day in 2005 or 2006. And I guess that video had so much traction already, because I know I wasn't looking for video game content, and I certainly wasn't looking for any like early days of like walkthroughs or anything. Oh yeah, I gotta say hi to Mazzy real quick because she'll leave. Mazzy, thank you for stopping by. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world. She makes it a point because she's such a good young lady. I can't remember. Is salt of the earth a good thing or bad thing? I seem to hear it both ways. Like, I mean
It's
it.
a good thing. Yeah.
I mean it in a good way when I say it, but it's salt of the earth because she takes to the point to hit like on all of my extremely racist tweets on Twitter. So thank you very much for doing that for me. And I hope you're doing well on your side of the world. And like I warned you beforehand, I'm not a professional streamer. I'm awful in every way. So you get to witness it firsthand.
No, you're like Oprah. You're the new Oprah.
But
I'm gonna cry, and we'll talk about stuff. I want to give a shout out to the girl that gave me head in the theater. Her name is Autumn. Autumn, if you see this, I'm
Autumn,
sorry.
are you in
Tell
the
your dad
chat,
I'm sorry.
Autumn?
Might be. Um, I had dinner with her dad and shook his hand and everything, and I'm probably gonna go to hell for that. So
Yo, did you shake his hand after you did something else with that hand?
no, I'm not. I'm not like that. But I mean, still, like when you look a man in his eyes, and then the next day you're fucking his daughter. I mean, it's if it happened to me, that's when the shotgun comes out. So I should have had the shotgun talk, but he was too nice. So.
And Mazzy says, "Oh shit, that was supposed to be my first name originally." So, crisis averted, Mazzy. Oh, that's an epic story that you've got there. Your discovery in the James is very, very original. I'm willing to bet no one else has a an origin story about discovering him quite like that, because everybody else is kind of like mine. I was like clicking around on YouTube, and there that asshole was. And there's Spurg. Spurg is in the chat. He's not saying hello to us for some reason. He probably wants to say hello to the hot pretty girl, which is understandable. Please ignore us if there's a pretty girl in sight. Do what you need to do there.
Let the man cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook. But those early days, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, wow, this is very original, because I got it from the start. It was like I'm watching it. It's like, okay, so this guy, he's kind of like he's reviewing and being brutal retroactively to games that are from way, way in the past, kind of like brutalizing special effects from a movie 50 years ago for how terrible they are using like today's criteria. So I was like, I get it. That's good. That's smart. And I just thought a lot of the insults were new types of insults that I hadn't heard before.
Oh yeah, the word salad. He just has this vulgar word salad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, bro, you got the bacon bits, you got the croutons, you got everything in that salad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
To this day, it's impressive.
Yeah, like what was it? Diarrhea out of a water buffalo's ass is one of them.
Yeah. I don't know where he originally got all that stuff from. I think maybe he just kind of autistically started, Tourette's yelling. But there was a musician from the 90s called Wesley Willis. Have you ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, he's the suck my dog's dick guy.
Yeah. So the whole song about the giraffe and the rhino, and it's just like, you gotta wonder where Bimmy gets his swag from. I think there's a little bit of Wesley Willis in there somewhere.
Yeah. And that one's a funny one too. You probably have the same origin with that, where you like fucking around on the old Napster or something one day and you saw Nirvana covers Enter Sandman. Well, I've got to download this MP3 immediately. And then, well, that's not Nirvana covering Enter Sandman at all. That's someone orally fixated on a puppy.
No, it's the funniest way I found that guy. Back in the day, there was local theaters, small theaters that were like art house theaters, and they would show anime movies like that were premiering from Japan.
Oh, okay.
Subtitled, whatever. I'm kind of a video game and anime nerd, and as you're waiting for the movie to start, they don't really have like trailers or anything to show you. It's an art house thing, so they some fucking asshole put on Wesley Willis really loud. And we're all just sitting there waiting for the movie to start. And I remember looking down, and there was a mom that brought like her 2 elementary school age kids to watch. I think it was like Princess Mononoke or something. And it's like, holy, we're watching a Miyazaki film. right? It's a fucking Miyazaki film, and it's like, the fucking suck my asshole, dog, dick, fuck a rhino's butthole, and I was like, what the hell? What is this? I thought it was a joke, and I thought like somebody was like in the back with a microphone, like pranking on us or something.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, I dated a girl that had excellent taste in music, and she's like, no, the guy from Dead Kennedys, he started his own record label, and one of the guys he signed was a homeless guy he found walking down the street. Cool. And Wesley Willis was born.
Oh God! Now that reminds me of something that I did. I did a prank that was very identical to what you're talking about there. Back in the old days, and depending on the people's age in the chat, you might not have ever had to do this, but I'm willing to bet Matt has. Okay, remember in the old times where it's like, well, you might have owned a car that didn't even have a tape deck. You might have owned a car that only had like AM, FM radio, and that is it. But there is this new technology called compact disc. So you can't even do the thing where, you buy the portable Sony deck with the Sony tape and put in, because you don't even have a cassette deck. Yeah. So what do? Well, there's these things. You can still buy them today called like RF adapters. And what you would do is there was like these preset channels, and you would set your like FM channel or maybe even AM to like 98 or 99 or something like that. And you'd plug one part of it, you'd plug the main part into your CD player and you tune it to that channel, and then, well, magically your CD is now coming over through your shitty AM radio only car. And I did that growing up, and I thought it was just like, wow, this is just so cool. But what I was getting at with the prank was I was I was at a call center job I had in the late 90s, and what they did was like they had, like a lot of businesses, they had the like intercom system above. Well, I wasn't what you would call like a supervisor, but I wasn't on the phone either. I was like kind of a back end tech guy. And I was young and didn't think about things like, consequences and shit like that. So I went into the room where I knew that they picked whatever audio they were going to play. And most of the time it was just, soft listening music played at a low volume. Well, I turned that fucking thing to 99 and I played like whatever the filthiest song there was that was on the Team America soundtrack. So what I did was I tuned it to that channel. I got my CD ready and I got far away from the room, and then I hit play on it, and then really loud, I don't know what it was. I'm just going to say it was like, America, fuck yeah. Like really loud started playing throughout the call center, and people, the grown-ups that worked there, even though I guess I was technically a grown-up, but the grown-ups that worked there were going, gay, 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 gay. We've got to find out where this is coming from and put a stop to it. Pull all the cables. And they knew it was me, but I do this thing called lying. I was like, I have no idea how that happened. I didn't care about like losing like the $10 on the RF adapter just because it made me laugh, and it made the people that were like me and you laugh in the call center because they knew what was going on too.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked at Target for a short time, and back when I was there, everybody had walkie-talkies, and there's no earbuds or anything. Like if the walkie goes off, customers can hear you, like, help in electronics or come to the back room or whatever, lifting stuff, whatever. So of course, what you do is you take your walkie-talkie on your lunch break with you. Mm-hmm. They don't know who has what walkies. It's just walkie-talkies. You go into your car and you put on something that's filthy or lewd or whatever musically, or you have an MP3 player and you upload an MP3 of Master Shake talking or some shit, and you just play it over the walkie, and lo and behold, a customer or two might hear some F-bombs or something weird going on. And, Hear Master Shake talking to them behind the counter. Like, what the hell was that?
And the funny thing is, what you're imagining is going on the other side. Like someone like frantically like swatting at their walkie-talkie, trying to turn it down as fast as possible, while some elderly lady's like, what?
And I'm trying not to laugh because like if I laugh too hard, they might know my voice or something. So I'm just over there like dying, trying not to laugh as it's going over the waves.
I just got to read this out loud because this sounds like a complete nightmare. Kip Smith says, fun fact, I worked at AOL in 1996 from, I'm assuming, AOL 2.5 to 3.0. Try troubleshooting AOL for DOS for an elderly person. That sounds like a complete nightmare on planet Earth. One time, okay, so listen, pretty much just as bad as that was like, I moved a lot I've moved a lot in my life, and I was never good at those Rand McNally naps, but naps, not naps. I wasn't sleeping on them. Maps. That's what I meant to say. Take two. We're live, pal. And I was never good at reading those things. To me, those things were like looking at a circulatory system. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here. Yeah. And but in like 2000 or so, when I was moving from like Virginia to like South Texas, down in Brownsville was where I lived. And, you know, the joke I always tell about that is like, I was the white guy that lived in Brownsville in the year 2000. So if anyone says, you remember that white guy that used to live here in 2000, that was me.
I remember you telling that story last time, and I never got to tell you the chance. In my hometown that I grew up in, I was definitely in the minority racially.
Oh yeah.
So I've experienced racism, but people don't believe it because they're like, "Oh, you're white. How could you experience racism?" It's like I couldn't get a job because I didn't speak Spanish and things like that. But I'm not angry about it. I'm not bitter about it. I mean, I'm not making videos on YouTube slamming Hispanic people or anything. And consequently, my only friends were also Hispanic because there was no white.
There's no whites.
You know. So I learned all the Spanish bad words, and I learned all the food words and things that are important in life. So I got a little bit of that flavor.
Oh God, no, I know that too because because when I moved down there for that girlfriend, I didn't have a job waiting for me either. So I went down there. You know, I can't blame my parents. You know, I can't do that. That's not fair. But I kind of wish they would have had a stern talk with me, and because they weren't politically correct or, you know, the year 2000 version of woke or anything. I kind of wish someone would have sat me down. It's like, do you understand how hard it is going to be for you to get a job? First off, you only speak English. Second off, you have long hair, so you got two things going against you down there anyway. So you're gonna figure it out, but no one did. But I can't blame anybody. I should have. I was a tax-paying adult. I should have thought of that myself. But no, I got down there, and the only I had 2 full-time jobs while I was with that girl, and the first full-time job I got was because like the unemployment office down there really went for back to me at this one company. I don't know why. I walked in there one day and I told them my situation. It's like, yeah, I'm not laid off or anything. I just don't have a job. I moved down here because I'm in love and I'm 20 years old. So, you know, and
I did the same thing at 19. I moved 4 or 5 hours away from home to go with the girl. She was 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was a meth addict. That explains why she was in good shape, I guess, because she was pretty thin.
Man, that's cool. She was in real good shape then.
Well, she could fuck, and but she had baggage, you know.
Not on her body because she was so fit.
No, but she had a young son. I think he was maybe 6 or something, and I'm 19, so it's like. What am I, stepdad or something? Like, but you know what? I got along better with the kid than I did with her. So when time came that we parted ways, I actually missed the kid. You know.
Oh yeah.
His dad sucked, and you know, like it was. that's when I was kind of hell bent on being a dad after that, and it got away from me for a long time until my early 30s. But it happened eventually, and better late than never, I guess. But it was something that I've been wanting to be a dad. When my mom passed when I was 11 years old.
Oh gosh.
And my dad was always kind of distant, and they used to party a lot and stuff. I was kind of like cable guy, where I'd sit in front of the TV all day.
Okay.
And you know, I don't know. I don't really have a point to any of that other than just to be like, damn. I told you about this stuff, right? So all you kiddies at home,
drink it fast.
This is called Dragon's Milk.
Tell the kids at home about Dragon's Milk.
They're not sponsoring me. I'm just going to tell you. It's bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, 11%. And god damn, guys, like I thought it'd be a nice little thing to sip on, and I'm blowing this interview, so I'm gonna try really hard not to.
This is an outstanding interview. Don't you dare be hard on yourself. You know, you can have a hard on, but don't have a hard on yourself, and keep it off the screen. No, but I know what you mean. It's like like just talking a minute ago, like you're going somewhere and then you lose your train of thought, and you're like, this story was going somewhere, but I don't know. It was going
into a dark place, and I just didn't want to. I don't want to talk about like my childhood and shit.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, but I just want to give context to like where I'm at in life right now is a place that I don't deserve to be. Mm-hmm. I'm a very humble person to the point of detriment. Do you know Deft, Brandon Deft?
I don't know him. I just know him from like the chats and stuff. That's really all my point of reference.
Yeah, he's one of the Dabbleverse guys that kind of came out of nowhere, and he was a fan, and I interact with him every now and then. I go on his show a couple times here and there.
Oh, cool.
He's a very, very solid guy, and he knows how it is with like being humble, and like sometimes he describes himself as sometimes being a little too humble, too hard on himself. I'm the same way. It's because I know all the things I've done, but you don't. So
yep.
Just trust me when if I self-deprecate for a joke or two, then it's necessary.
It's atonement for sins of the past.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to whip myself. I'm not going to have stigmata or some shit. So might as well make cringy videos on the internet and make people laugh. And I've always wanted to do something with my comedy.
Yes.
Other than get drunk and just go to the bar and talk shit, you know. I've tried my hand at other stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing I will get into that's important, a lot of people don't know about me, is 2 years ago I had a catastrophic skateboarding accident.
Mm-hmm.
I was going downhill, attempting to reach 40 miles an hour, and I've done it before. I've done a lot of downhill stuff, whatever. But it was Halloween day 2 years ago. I was feeling squirrely, and you feel invincible, right? And I wiped out, and I got a massive concussion. Had a Rocky Balboa face. I have this on my elbow, this giant scar because there's a lot of metal and shit in there.
Yes.
So these fingers don't work as good as they used to. These ones are cool. I got my dexterity on that, but I can't play guitar like I used to, or keyboard or anything like that. I can't do push-ups or pull-ups properly. Really, I'm gonna end up having one big arm, one small arm, like Paul Orndorff.
Oh, Jesus! Yes.
You watch. I'm gonna end up like that one. No, probably not. Probably not that bad. His shit was all fucked up. But like I used to have symmetrical arms, and now I have like jack off arms, and I'm like, damn, how do I get rid of this like tiny arm syndrome? But I mean, you've seen how the elbow is, bro. If I showed you the X-ray, it looks like Tim the Toolman Taylor went crazy in there, and just like the screws are going like this. They're all over the fucking place.
So my guess was right when I made you the T800 for the picture on the video. You do have living tissue over a metal exoskeleton.
Yeah, I have the Cyberdyne arm. I got the arm.
That sucks. Guys, you probably heard my skateboarding story, but the short version is my joke was like I was a semi-pro skateboarder, which meant I was really good, but not good enough to get paid or a sponsor. And then one day not wearing protective gear of any kind. Not that it would have mattered in this case. I landed straight onto my tailbone, and that was all she wrote. And to this day, I can't sit in chairs normally without shifting my weight. That's why a lot of times it's like, people see me with my legs bent up like this when I'm on the screen, because it's the only way I can sit without being in like really bad pain. Like, like if I put my legs down like this, I could be okay for like, if I was being interviewed for 5 minutes, I could suffer through it and sit like a normal. But like I do fly for work a lot, and man, I'm telling you what, it's like, and they are cheap on the seat. I always get Southwest, which has the smallest seats on planet Earth, and like for the 3 hours that I'm on that plane, it's like 3 hours where it feels like I'm sitting directly onto a rock. And that's like, and I'm like doing everything, like I'm pushing down with one arm, and like and like even if I wasn't embarrassed to get something like this, it wouldn't help anyway. A thing like that goddamn hemorrhoid pillow, it's not in the right spot, so that won't even work for me either. It's like I just have to not be on it. And if you all want to hear something that's absolute, is everybody okay with hearing something absolutely repulsive that'll make you almost pass out? If anyone absolutely doesn't want to hear something repulsive that'll make you pass out, I say take your ear away from the screen for about 30 seconds. But, no, I'm just but like after it freshly happened, like right after it freshly happened, when I was in my most pain, and I'm 24 hours a day, every waking moment, I'm thinking about it because I just feel it. Anytime I went to the restroom to go number 2, I swear to God, pretend this finger is the tailbone. I swear my brain said my poo was pushing it. And it was like, and it was breaking it more. I could feel it when I went number 2. So I didn't ever want to go number 2. So if you put it off, then it's even worse. And it might have been all in my head, but I swear I had pain when I went.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, thankfully, everybody, if you want a postscript to that story, I poop like a normal these days. So if you were worried, it's okay. You don't have to worry about my bathroom activities now. I poop like a grown-up man.
Pics where it didn't happen.
Well, just that's gonna be once I get monetized and members only and Patreon and all that, that'll be a Patreon exclusive.
Instead of being rope shooters, they could be poop shooters.
It could be a poop shooters. But also you're getting an experience in like how my brain works. I try to like warn people. It's like I want to talk about one thing, but like conversations with me is like a tree.
The autism tree.
I just jumping from branch to branch.
I do it all the time, man. I do it all the time. I try so hard. Like my streams are so low tech. It's me watching cartoons and talking, and I still can't fucking hold like a single thought. It just jumps around all the time. I don't know. It's the side effect of being in that MTV Nickelodeon generation.
The cable guy thing too, because like I mean, I myself was like kind of raised like that too. On one hand, I gotta say it did keep me out of a lot of like. See, I got problems. There's a reason I look like this, but like.
Long hair.
That's
lots of people have that. Okay.
The rebellion.
I thought you were in a band.
So like I was just kind of sat down in front of a TV too, and I mean, I don't think I always get kind of irritated when I hear people like celebrities in their book talking about how they hated school. Like, motherfucker, everybody hated school. Nobody liked school. I've never met anyone that liked school except for maybe like the top tier preps and bullies. Maybe they liked high school, but no normal person liked high school. They were all like, you know, like me, like dreading getting picked on, dreading failing classes, dreading getting in trouble for something, mostly dreading bullies and shit.
Were
And
you able to be truant at high school at all, or was it too dangerous to be truant where you were at?
oh no, I was like a motherfucker, and like they just didn't really, they didn't really enforce it was the thing.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Now nowadays, I don't really know how it is, and I guess it kind of depends on the state now. Like with everything, it kind of depends on the state. Like, you know, without this getting divulging too far into politics, but I just imagine it's just the same as, like, you know, if it's a red state, maybe they enforce it a little bit more than a blue state would. But that's just me guessing off the top of my head. But like, no, I hated it so much because like my school, my fucking middle school, and we didn't call it middle school yet. It was called junior high up until a couple of years ago. And and even as an adult, I'm still like, what the fuck is a middle school? I called it junior high. And it's still on the school if I go up there. But anyway, that school was basically the white version of Lean on Me school. But we didn't have, you know, Morgan Freeman going, "This comic crazy Jared, I'm coming back, man." We just had a principal that didn't give a shit, a principal that I've never seen, and kids running amok doing whatever they wanted to do. And like, it was very terrifying going from like the most easygoing, fun grade school, just fun. Like, you kind of looked forward to going to school because it was fun. To go from that to the fucking Lean on Me middle school, I started skipping like crazy. And you start finding other people that are of like your same mindset. Like, man, grade school didn't exactly prepare us for fucking nightmarish bullies. And this was during an era, and I'm not sure that I could prove this, but like, I swear to you, my middle school, which was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, I swear to you, had 17-year-olds in it that just kept failing and failing. And they were like 6 foot tall and meaner and shit. And
back when they used to actually hold kids back. Now they don't even do that anymore.
I don't think they did, because I remember this one son of a bitch fucking drove to middle school. I thought that was out. I was like, he's like, he had a goddamn parking spot next to the butt fucking preacher. Not preachers, but teachers. Well, the butt fucking preachers, too. The fucking kid diddling motherfuckers. When them teachers weren't diddling kids, they'd open up the car door, and then the preacher's car door would open, and they'd throw the naked child into the preacher's door, and then the diddling would continue, and then the asshole bully would park beside him. That's how I knew that story that I did not make up just now.
That's an incredibly, like, that is a top tier 5-star comedic theme, that the middle school is so bad that the students drive to school because they've been held back like 5 years. That's like Chris Elliott worthy comedy right there. That's amazing.
I swear it happened. I swear. I still see that red-headed motherfucker getting out of his car.
Fucking dirty ginger, right?
He looked like Mean Mark Callis before he became the fucking Undertaker. He looked like one. That's what we called him. We're just like, it's the fucking skyscraper. It's Mark Callis. Look at that mean mother. Don't make eye contact with him. He'll hit you with the heart punch.
Oh man, mean Mark is the most goofiest looking motherfucker. Like, most people don't realize that the Undertaker was just absolutely goofballs looking, you know, and he's awkward and movement, awkward working. Like, and he could work, but like, it just didn't. It looked weird. So I think he leaned into that. It was like, well, if I'm gonna look hella awkward, I guess I'll be like a zombie or something. Like, I'm already stiff as it is, and not stiff, but like, you know, stiff movements.
No, he did. I mean, on one hand, it's like, on one hand, that guy was like insanely athletic in a good way. Because like in the old like NWA WCW when he was there for that year, like he was he would get on the top rope without holding the guy's arm. He would get on the top rope and he would walk down the ropes without holding anybody and jump off with an elbow drop. That was his finisher for a little while. He would hit him with the heart punch first, and then he would climb up and walk down the middle and do that. And they called that the heat seeker elbow. And it was cooler and shit. But like Undertaker said later, he's like, by the time he got to the WWF, they were like, yeah, you got to cut that shit out because your career ain't going to last for very long. Because he admitted it was like killing his hip and ass, like landing like that. With him being as big as he is, you know. Yeah, but that. Totally. But again, you all just witnessed. We were talking about middle school, and now we're talking about Mean Mark Callis, and that can happen just like that when you're watching this. When you're watching this goddamn stream of mine.
We don't want to lose the audience. We got to keep it snappy. Tell a joke or something. I don't know. What do you got?
I don't have any jokes. I bet it's like you. It's like in like your real world, like. And myself included, it's like your close group of friends, family, and whatnot. It's like, you ought to do stand-up comedy. You're just one of the quickest people around. And now I'm going to ask you that. Did you ever actually try stand-up comedy?
Not anything more than like at a party in front of like, 10 or 15 people just bullshitting. Like never like on a microphone. I get stage fright pretty easily. You know, like. Streaming is easy because it's like a phone call. I can deal with a phone call, but like standing in front of a group of people and like keeping them occupied. I don't know. Most of what I had to do, like a lot of my 30s and my late 20s was spent hosting beach parties. And
really?
I wanted that because growing up I was nerdy and I was antisocial and I'd cut school and go smoke weed and shit. And I grew up hating everything. I like to joke all the time that I have a PhD in misanthropy, and I'm one of the world's leading misanthropologists. That comes from a thing that right out of high school, I wanted to be a psychologist. Then I wanted to be a sociologist. Then I wanted to just, I don't know, fly through the air and do whatever the wind told me to do. But I don't know. I'm trying not to get back into wrestling because now I'm thinking about fucking Undertaker when I was a little kid and I was at the event center and I saw him walk by. And I saw Giant Gonzalez, man. He grabbed the back of Harvey Whippleman's head as he walked by me. I'm like 7 years old. Dude, his hand, it was cupping like a softball. Yeah. Like he cupped that motherfucker's head, dude. Like it was, I couldn't believe the size of that son of a bitch. And he had that naked bodysuit, and it was just, I'm a little kid. This giant, weird, naked Aztec just walked by, grabbing this little guy's head. Like, if you wonder what influences me, it's kind of like Bimmy. Like Bimmy remembers all of his childhood fears. He remembers the dragon in his dreams. He remembers the Dracula. Okay, like that's just not scary. Let's be real here, right? I saw Legend as a kid with Tom Cruise. Okay. As Rob Bottin did all the makeup. Rob Bottin did The Thing. So in that movie, he does like the giant devil with Tim Curry, and there's Meg Mucklebones, the bog witch that rises out of the bog, and I mean, in 1980s practical effects, man, like we were spoiled as kids. Oh yeah, they were willing to spend thousands of dollars on the dopest costumes that you could ever buy and no one could ever own. I mean, nowadays Spirit Store has some cool shit, but not like what they had. I mean, all the animatronic shit in the faces and Jim Henson. I mean, the Ninja Turtles, the first ones were made by Jim Henson. Yeah. And as a kid, you're watching Splinter, and he's like crying, right? He's like, "My son, I love you, my son." And it's like, I'm like, bro, I'm crying over a puppet. What the fuck? Like, this is Ninja Turtles made me cry? No. The power of a puppet, right? 2K? Right, 2K, the power of a puppet. Am I right?
Power of a puppet. The original puppet from France. That's where he's from. But no, it's like, no, you think about, practical effects. And it's like, what has to be the final boss of all practical effect movies of all time? Because it was done perfect. I don't remember the budget off the top of my head, but to this day, there's no flaws, and it's the original Alien.
Yes, sir.
Is not. I mean,
Yes,
you
sir.
can't. There's no fuck up. I can't. My brain sometimes just can't wrap my head around. It's like this movie was, it was released in 79, but they were working on it in 78. They were using the technology of that time to come out with something that unique and horrifying.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the first shot of that motherfucking xenomorph leaning up, and the water is like coming off of it, and its lip is quivering while it's dripping. Man, that is as a child, I mean, I could not sleep for months. I was puzzled, like, that fucker's outside.
The eternal debate is which one was better, the first or second movie. I know it's a hot take, but I like the first one better because it just, it mainly because Ridley Scott. I'm a big Ridley Scott fan. I like Blade Runner. I like Gladiator. I like all that stuff. But the guy who played the xenomorph in part one, they found this giant African guy that was like crazy skinny.
Yes.
He's like the tallest skinny guy in the world.
I think he was 7 feet. Wasn't he 7 feet? Yeah.
And I saw a picture of him outside the suit, and he still looks horrifying and weird. So it's like,
oh yes.
So fuck yeah, put the suit on him, and he's like walking around and shit. And the movie was filmed on an anamorphic lens, so it had like a high resolution that maintains a really good look. And when you remaster movies like that, it comes out better, as opposed to Aliens. The second one that was filmed on regular ass, grainy film stock, and now they have a 4K AI remaster, but it like warps the faces a little bit as you know what I mean? Like, and so
plus Aliens used a lot of blue screen, and blue screen does not age good at all. Blue screen ages. It looks worse every year it's out. I don't think there's any scene of blue screen or whatever existed in 78 in the original Alien.
No, it's all practical. They copied Industrial Light and Magic. They basically just copied their techniques, and it was like the Coke and the Pepsi. I mean.
And I mean, and there's so many little things I could go down. I mean, I wish I don't have all my toys with me, but like, okay, so like I have like one of the what do you call it, Remco xenomorph dolls from that time, and it's like what didn't really come across on the screen was like the original look of the alien. Like you find out about it from like the production photos and stuff, but you never get like a good close up of the dome. Like if you see like behind the scenes photos of like the xenomorph up close in the dome, you can clearly see a human skull in it, hence xenomorph, because it's half whatever the fuck that face hugger is and the other half is human. That was something. It basically kind of like an Easter egg for people to find out later. Because I mean, as a kid, you occasionally come across these production photos and you're like, why is there a human skull in there? Later on, it makes sense. Once your adult brain can process everything. I'm assuming that they probably did film some of it where you could more clearly see it, and then they probably said, maybe we shouldn't show that at all. We should just leave that, because I don't think there's any other scenes where you can kind of plainly see like that human skull inside of that damn dome.
Yeah, they. Well, how do you feel about the fact that they had cut out very little, but they cut out the scene when the ship is going to explode? She's running around. She finds Captain Dallas encased in the cocoon, and he's like, "Kill me, kill me," and that carries over into the second movie. So I feel like they should have left it in. A lot of people said that the pacing got thrown off because it's like exciting, and all of a sudden the movie stops. But I kind of feel like without it, it just, you hear the alarm going off, and like there's no like break. It just kind of goes on for like 12 or 13 minutes or whatever. I think even longer, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I like the little break that they take and find, because Dallas was a great character.
Oh yeah.
And having that weird, terrifying closure, right? The big, strong man who's going to save everybody. This motherfucker is an egg sack. He got impregnated. Yeah. He's going to fucking die. Like, that makes it even worse. Like, because there's no, you know what your fate's gonna be. Either you're gonna get lynched or get the tail up the cooter like the little other chick got.
That's what. There's two things I want to point out to a lot of people that never picked up on this. What you just said right there, I thought I was the only person on planet Earth to notice. The girl is backed up against the wall after what was the black man's name in on the movie? What was his name? What did they call him? Do you remember? I'll just call him Black Guy.
His real name was Yafi Koto. I don't remember the character's name.
Well, after he got dispatched quickly, that the xenomorph starts to like slowly come toward her, and you get that one shot where that tail is coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I know what's about to happen, but I've never heard anyone, any commentator, anyone say, okay, are we going to address what I know is happening?
Oh, no,
that tail up her.
If you get like the DVD or whatever, there's like multiple commentary tracks. And they talk about like one theme of the movie is like violation, right? Because like the main character is a woman, right? And there's also the part where the android rolls up the magazine and he stuffs it in her mouth. And everybody's like, what the fuck is he doing? How would he kill her with a magazine? If you actually know what's going on, he's violating her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a metaphor. So things like that, yes, they're weird. They don't make any sense, but because it's an artistic horror movie, right? It's not just a regular horror movie. It's not Jason Voorhees, right? It's very subtle and artistic. The imagery of the aliens being done by Giger was meant to evoke bad feelings of like biological stuff and perversion and dirtiness. And that's what makes it repulsive as a thing, right? Because you can have an alien movie where the alien looks like Critters, right? The movie Critters.
Yes.
They're fucking cute, bro. Gremlins are kind of cute. The fucking xenomorph, I don't want that shit. I don't even like toys of it. The little toys fucking freak me out. They look ugly. It's gonna jump at me.
But yeah, it's like, okay, so like the tail goes up, and then you hear the radio chatter afterward, and you hear her going. I'm like, damn, Jesus! Yeah. It's like the image, because that's what they did that for. They were like, we don't need to show it. We're going to have her doing this awful sound effect, and you're going to be the one to picture it in your brain, like what's going on.
It's and the horror of the unseen, right? The horror of the unseen, like Jaws or like Night of the Living Dead, where like I don't want you to see around the corner. Don't look around. You hear the moaning of the zombie, but you're not going to see it. You just so the dread of, even if you don't realize what's happening, you know it ain't good. Something bad's happening to her.
Yeah,
and, she's not dying immediately. It's not just one cry for help and then she's out. Like it's very upsetting. I mean, really, like, and Aliens, the second one, it's a fun movie. I love it. I love the movie. It's a great movie, but like, it doesn't have those deeper themes or challenging your psychological, interpretations of art and things like that. It's something I talked about last night. I was watching Liquid Television on my stream last night. Liquid Television as a kid, I was like, oh, it's cartoons. I'm going to watch cartoons. And they're bizarre and they don't go anywhere and they don't make any sense. They're kind of like brain rot. But some of them are very artistic and very deep. They just don't have anything to offer you other than concepts and themes. And you as the viewer have to put together, what are they trying to tell me? And I prefer media like that. I like media where I get to sit and chew on it for a while. That's why I like Blade Runner so much, or Apocalypse Now. Or even back when Inception came out. I like it still now, but I mean, it's less impressive over time. But when Inception first came out and everybody was so mad, like, well, the ending, he spins the top and they don't show it whether the top falls down or not. Is he awake or is he in the dream? They don't tell you. Figure it out, dummy. Didn't you just watch the fucking movie? It's up to you, like.
Yeah, and one more thing, because I this is how my brain works. I can't leave unfinished business. Going back to Dallas, right? You know how in the extended cut of it, he's plastered onto the wall. Yeah. He's definitely impregnated. Well, here's the thing with that, and I know they weren't thinking about this in, because the alien queen wasn't thought about until the second one. So leaving him there like that, like if we considered the extended cut the actual conical cut of the movie, that would mean that there was an alien queen on that ship. If we consider that real, or I guess we could just like, take the cheap way out and just go, it's a movie. Don't think about it too deep. But
No, well,
I don't think
in the
that's
first
fun.
movie, the first movie never shows a queen or talks about a
That's
queen.
right. Yeah.
We don't know if they're biologically manufactured in a factory. We don't know. We don't know what happened. We know there was a space jockey, and he doesn't look like them.
No.
He's different, but he had his chest was busted open.
Yes.
So somewhere out there, that thing's running around somewhere. We don't know what the fuck that thing's doing.
Let's talk about that for a second. So, like in this universe where that space jockey had a chest burster, somewhere there's a gigantic xenomorph of a space jockey xenomorph, and well, thank God that one didn't get on the ship.
And originally, we didn't know that there are people inside the suit. We just thought that suit was the alien. So it just has this elephant anteater head.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's just what it is. That's what makes the first movie work extremely well, is that there was no lore, there's no explanation of what the hell's happening, and you don't need that because it's the big bad monster. It violates you, it hates you, it wants to eat you, destroy you. You can't kill it, you can't harm it because you'll harm yourself. It's the themes are what make it good, and when you make it into science fiction, it takes away the horror. And because science fiction, you have to explain shit. And like Star Wars, right? When Jedis were just mystical space samurais with wizard powers, it was fun. Oh, we got midichlorians and we got the Jedi Order, and they had this problem. Man, you're killing me. Like I don't want any of that. I want the simplistic themes and flavors and the meanings of it all, right? Like Joseph Campbell, Hero of a Thousand Faces, right?
Yeah.
Where all of the legends of the Earth are basically interchangeable pieces. Once you start taking that into like Stephen King levels of detail, you've lost me. I don't give a fuck about Captain Dallas. When he was 10 years old, went to a special school that a kid, teased him about being afraid of aliens. I don't fucking care. It means nothing to me. It doesn't change anything. Like, this is why RoboCop too, right? Once you make a sequel to RoboCop, it kills everything about it because it's really just an old Western story.
Yeah,
it's a sheriff in a lawless town.
God,
but then it's like, but now we got to get into the corporation. We got to get into all this science fiction shit, and it ruins it for me. I know everybody. Hot take, guys. I'm sorry, right? I don't like extended universes. I don't like sequels. I just make something beautiful and leave it be. Says the guy who has sequels. I have sequel videos on my fucking channel. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the property with me. On the property with me, there's some universes that, I want to keep making them, keep cranking them out till they're not good anymore. And then there's some
I love Jason. Movies are. I don't care. There's no bad Jason. Even Jason X, I think is fine.
I'm like one of the 4 people that saw it in theater.
Yeah, I'm one of the 4.
And I swear to you, I can't prove it, but it's in my brain, and I want to know. I'm gonna ask you if you can make your brain go back to 2001 when they were showing like commercials for it. Did they play a Rammstein song in one of the commercials, or am I making that up? Or do you remember there being a pop culture popular song in one of the commercials to that? Because I want to believe there was, but I don't know.
I'm sure there must have been. I don't know. I don't recall who it was, but they would have had something like that. They would have like KMFDM or some.
Yeah.
Some kind of,
Here's something you might find interesting. You can dig this up to fact check me later if you want. That movie was completed in 1999, but it was shelved. It was ready to go out in 99, but for whatever reason, the powers that be just held on to it for a couple of years. I have this not here. It's at my dad's house, but I have this gigantic Jason book it's an official companion to, everything. And it detailed like how it was completed and yada, yada, yada. But for whatever reason, it just didn't come out until 2001 to no hoopla whatsoever.
I had the DVD, and I recall listening to the director's commentary because, I mean, remember when that was a thing? When
yes, I listened to all of them. I listened to Not Another Teen Movies commentary.
Sure. And if they had commentary tracks by like, oh, this was the third assistant director, sure, I'll listen to whatever he's got to say.
Every Fight Club commentary track on that fucking DVD, I listened to more than once.
Yeah, and it becomes like you absorb it, right? You learn more about it. You kind of can impart like why a movie is good or not, based on the overcoming all the obstacles and shit like that. And you get to learn fun stuff. One thing I would like to recommend, The Thing. I like The Thing a lot. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
Oh yes.
Thematically and cinematically and pacing. It's Carpenter's at his peak of his game. The commentary track on there, him and Kurt Russell are a little bit tipsy, not gonna lie, and especially Kurt Russell. He's a lot bit tipsy. Yeah. So listening to them kind of winging it while they're wasted and like they're just laughing, they're having a great time, and you feel very cozy watching this horrible, scary ass movie, and they're just these two buddies. Oh, remember that one time where you did this? And it's like, oh, it's just, and they're actually riffing at the movie a couple times where when they land in the crater and he has that giant hat. McCready has that giant fucking sombrero Yosemite Sam hat, and Kurt Russell starts laughing. And he goes, "Hey, the hat kind of commands the scene, doesn't it?" And I was like, "This motherfucker's riffing his own movie? That's crazy." It's awesome.
Yeah, that's another great one that kind of in one hand. Like it did never need a prequel or anything like that. Like you just leave it alone. I mean, and the prequel had a lot going against it because like at first, I can't claim to know all the behind the scenes. I know quite a bit of it. They were going to go for mostly practical effects, and then like in the middle of it they were like, nah, let's start incorporating really shitty computer special effects. And
the saddest thing about it is that there's a lot of footage that you can watch of the completed puppets, and when you watch the completed stuff that didn't get used, it's brilliant. It's fantastic. The puppets are on par with the original, no doubt. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why would you? And it wasn't even like they were unhappy with the puppets. It was just like they wanted more dynamic fight scenes and stupid action scenes and shit. It's like, this is not what this is about, So
yeah, that's not that kind of movie. It's not a fight scene movie. It's something. It's almost like a science fiction. Parts of it are almost like a science fiction whodunit, because going back, you're like, okay, which one of these motherfuckers is the Thing? Because they're all acting totally normal. Yeah. They're acting par for course until we get lucky and find out who. I did have one random thing. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but it has bothered the shit out of me my entire life. The old man. The oldest man of the group, I don't know what his job was particular. He was the one that did he was going to be the one that does the paddles before his arms got like bitten off by the Thing. Did you ever notice that he has a fucking nose ring for no reason?
I always thought it was a weird pimple or something, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
It has bothered me my entire life. It's like, why does this 80-year-old man have a rebellious nose ring?
I don't know. I thought it was like a weird growth or something. I didn't notice that.
It's very clear to be seen at the beginning of the movie. So if you watch it again, just as a favor to me, really pay attention to the movie until you get that first good, close up of that dude, and then you will see that damn thing.
I gotta find a high def version, because I literally watched the DVD on my CRT television. It's so low def, and I don't know. I still use all my old media, to be honest. I don't have a lot of it left. I sold a bunch of it in my 20s, but I kept the good stuff that I liked the most.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out to people that The Thing is basically Body Snatchers and Alien combined.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it work, is because they're isolated. It changes shape. They don't know the nature of it. It doesn't think or feel or talk. It just has its urges and instincts. And it's like a man versus nature thing, and a bug hunt, if you will. But I would like to tell people out there that if they like that, my favorite version of that story is the very first version of that, which is Moby Dick. Moby Dick is weird and terrifying and has large themes of religion and control and all lots of stuff to talk about humanity and the state of the world. And the character of Ahab, his first mate Starbuck being the opposite side of the coin, and then the nature of Moby Dick being a dumb beast but invulnerable, invincible, legendary. Like you can't kill it. You can't possibly kill Moby Dick, so why would you want to? That's what you get into, like the whole monster hunting aspect. And I somewhere back in time, an ancestor of mine killed a mammoth and thought it was the coolest shit ever. And it's inside of me. Like I wish I could kill a mammoth so bad. God. I really do.
Yeah, I wish that was inside of me too. I have a hard time picturing any ancestors in my lineage like just decimating a woolly mammoth.
Well, not like with their bare hands or anything, but just like drop rocks on it or make a trap, or like you can't outpower it. You can't beat the mammoth. You can't take it on. So you got to trick it. You got to do something. You got to outsmart it. That's these movies shine with the outsmarting of the beast.
This is again just unusual way my brain works. Just talking about that made me think about The Road for no reason.
Oh, man, that's sad. That's a sad movie.
Oh my God. And it's
we're not talking about The Road. Come on, man. You're gonna make me cry.
I don't want to talk about the sad parts of The Road. I just want to talk about like how quickly that society fell apart due to whatever happened. They never quite said what happened. I always interpreted it as some sort of worldwide EMT of some sort that knocked out anything electrical whatsoever, and society broke down rather quickly. And I mean, and you wouldn't even know about it because there would be no internet or anything to tell you that society is breaking down quickly. You just find out about it like when, a week into it, every other guy on the planet's like, I've got to rape women and kids for no reason. I just have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the primal nature of man will come out if society falls apart, and brutality gets you what you want in that world, unfortunately. So you ever seen Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, but it's been so long, I can't claim to have all the key scenes in here.
The whole point that Marlon Brando was trying to make when he was talking to Martin Sheen was that if you really want to win, if good guys have to win in this world, they have to be more brutal than the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And good guys have to be willing to commit atrocities to stop evil. Do I agree with that? Not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't work that easily, but the idea of it as a story theme, as something where characters can have an arc that they learn through that's a great vehicle for a story. So.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I mean, I try to think about like movies like that, or even The Walking Dead or something like that, which The Walking Dead I get frustrated with because I'm thinking about it in like a realistic way. It's like, how in the world could the world be overthrown that quickly by shambling slow zombies? The 2003 Dawn of the Dead zombies, I could see the world collapsing in less than a week, but but I don't know. I mean, just that quickly, I don't know. It does mess with my brain because then I just start thinking it's like, well, I could only hole up for so long in here. I'm going to run out of bullets. I'm eventually going to have to go out and try to forage. But by the time I go out and try to forage, everybody else has went out and tried to forage, and everybody I think I'm going to encounter, you're going to wonder, is this enemy or is this friend? It's just, yeah.
Well, it's definitely something I've thought about a lot, most especially my teenage years, when Resident Evil 2 came out, right? Because Resident Evil 1 is at a house in the middle of nowhere, it's whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
Resident Evil 2 is in the fucking city. And I've already watched Dawn of the Dead. I've already seen all this shit. Now I have to play it in a game, and it's stressing me the fuck out in a big way. And my buddy at the time was, this Latino gangster guy, and this guy's pretty hardcore. He's held up people at gunpoint. He's not scared of anything really, except fucking Resident Evil 2. And we walked down the street, right, smoking. And, hey man, is that a good roof to get up on right there?
Yeah.
Hey, where's a good door we could jam into? Like if we were here, where would we go? If we were there, where would we go? And just every neighborhood we're in, we're and I wasn't like on crack or meth or coke or anything. So this is all just like friendly and happy pontification. We're not like, scared or freaked out or anything.
Yeah.
But it was something we thought about because it's like, that's the fun of the movie is like you're trying to outsmart the zombies and you don't have control over these characters. They're going to fuck up and they always do.
I'll tell you what I did that's similar to that. Like around the time of Resident Evil 2, when it originally came out in 98 or 99, I want to say it's 98. Like I was working landscaping jobs in Austin, Texas. So I'm out in like 100-degree heat luckily I was working with friends of mine, so that made it less miserable. We're just bitching about the heat all day. Like, God damn, it's so fucking hot. We got a shovel. Where did we go wrong? And we're talking about that game all day, and then we start getting into like the mindset of the game. Like we'll see a tool on the ground and we'll look at one another and go, there is a tool, pick it up, yes or no.
Right,
there is a door, can you unlock it, yes or no. And then we would do dumb things like we would push stuff like the characters animated, like we would shoulder in to like move like a wheelbarrow. And it's the way we would kill Tom. It's like I'm not going anywhere with that. It was just like a memory unlocked of the fun.
We definitely played with we had tank controls. It's like let's just fuck with this. It's just, you can't rotate while you're walking. You have to stop to rotate and then keep walking. And then it's fun. It's kind of fun to play Resident Evil, like pretend.
I did one funny thing that happened that's not Resident Evil related at all, but we were lowering. Okay, so if you can picture, it is all kind of related. Can you still picture the opening montage where they're playing the Johnny Cash version of the Johnny Cash version of that song in Dawn of the Dead, where it's showing all the chaos going on? Okay, you remember where it shows like this gigantic construction truck and it is barreling into a crowd of people. It looks like it's in India or something. Okay, so we were working with a truck like that at one of these jobs, and if you can still picture that truck and how big the back of that truck is, where you got to lower the back part so you can get the rocks and shit off of it and stuff. When we were lowering that, what the hell do you call that fucking door again? We were lowering the thing. And while we were lowering it, my friend got his fingers caught in it and crushed 4 of his fingers. All I knew was we were lowering that back in, and my friend had the brain fart and thought, "Oh, I should put my hands here." Yeah, he crushed all 4 of his fingers, and he just starts screaming, going, "Lift it, lift it, lift it!" And I'm like, "What?" And I lifted it, and then I saw horrors that you shouldn't see.
Yeah.
But that was a unrelated side thing there. But okay, so we sidetrack a lot here, and then and there's no really getting back on track because there's no track to begin with. We're just talking about whatever we feel like today. But
I can't see the chat. Is there anybody in here?
Well, so far, I mean, like right now we got, and I don't have my readers on, so I'm about as bad as you. We got Narm, we got Mazzy, Spurgs in here, Dang Lizard was in here, and A. Thompson was in here, and some others from like earlier, and Yeah, so we do have people. We're not just talking to ourselves. Thank God we have an audience.
I'm
The
just wondering
audience.
if we should entertain them or entertain ourselves. I'm kind of torn. So
I think it's entertain ourselves because it'll by default it will entertain them. If we try to be if I try to be entertaining, like going back to like the stand up thing, like I can do public speaking no problem as long as I kind of know what I'm talking about, and I just barely gotta know. You can say go up there and you know like if I was at work and it's like go up there and talk about wet wipes, wet ones, antibacterial for 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out. Uh, but to go up with like a comedy routine, two guys walking to a bar, yada yada yada, that's not happening anymore. Part of that is because like some people in here kind of know it's like there was a before time with me. There was a time that I was not exactly normal, but in the eyes of the law, I was normal.
yeah, I get you. I get you.
And
I feel you.
and then there's a hard line in the sand where then it's because then you become medicated Pete in a sense. It's like, okay, there's a lot that's not working in your brain anymore. So, you've got to start doing, a lot of different medications and stuff. And the thing is like, because like what happened with me, like the bad stuff with me, like when my brain started to not work as good as like you normals with your normal brains and your thinking and emotions and stuff. It's like, I had like no impulse control, and it was the bad kind. Like it was like I wanted to get in the fights, and I know that doesn't come across in my personality at all because that's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me at all. I don't want to go out and get in the fights with anybody, especially if I thought I would lose. Jesus, no.
Yeah,
But
I'm not as normal as I probably come across. I've recovered a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s now, so I've had time. But yeah, all through I told you how my mom passed when I was a kid. From that point on, I mean, it was just delinquency, depression, hatred, misanthropy. Like, and I don't mean misanthropy like I'm an edgelord. I mean, like, I literally just will not look at people in the face. I won't talk to people. I would just be alone in the corner, and that's all I want. I don't want to ever have to I wouldn't want to even go to Taco Bell to buy food because I don't want to have to fucking tell my order to somebody.
I've been there.
Right. I just like isolation, right? Like, so I've had manic depressive episodes, like just full bore psychotic breakdowns. No, if anybody out there has a beef against me, wants to clip me, now's the chance. But yeah, I've full on like had breakdowns. Like I had a delivery job, and I would have these, bad shit was happening in my life. Personal things were happening, a lot of loss, a lot of regrets and things like that, and just stacked on top of each other to a point where it broke me. And I would get into the van to do my deliveries, full on breakdowns, pull up to the company I'm going to go into, wipe it up, spruce up, go in there, do my delivery. Here you go back out to the van, fucking break down. And I'm on the road driving, and I'm like fucking, screaming, yelling, punching the steering wheel. I think that's something. I don't know anything personal about you or Dylan or Snake but I have gleaned enough to know that we've all been through the meat grinder more than once, and that's the true test of people that I like to interact with, because people that don't have any grasp of how bad reality can be, they don't also know how good it can be.
Oh God, it's a complete nightmare shit show a lot of times for me. I mean, it's the calling card. So I can't be myself at all if I'm not in the paint at all. Like it ain't gonna happen. I just wouldn't be here. Like if someone was like, "Hey, Dr. Harley, I'd like you to come on my show and not be in the paint," I'm like, no, I just won't do it. It's not going to happen. It's like I have to have something that I have to have a security blanket of some sort, because of like 10 years ago, I probably could have went on stage and put together a remarkably unremarkable 5 minutes of like some hilarity, but based on all that other stuff, now I'm just like, you're lucky I can walk around and talk and
Yeah.
interact with people now. And it's weird because like like in the chat, I'm sure there's got to be like a word for it if you or anyone in the chat knows what the hell I'm talking about. For whatever reason, having a thought and having it come out my mouth, boy, it's going to go through some twists and turns. It's going to go through my entire circulatory system, and by the time it comes out, it's not what I was thinking anyway. But thought to typing, boom, every time I can say exactly what I want to say the first time, every time. And back when I used to participate more in like nowadays, I only really participate in like Spurge's chat and Dylan's chat, and I might pop in some other shows' chats for like 2 seconds, but then I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I mean, Mazzy knows what I'm talking about. Like, Mazzy, let me ask you if you're still in here. Do you not recognize that most of the chats in our universe now are like, they're not fun to be in anymore, are they? It's like, it's just a bunch of really angry people, angry about professional comedians, and they're not funny. So, like, if anyone is wondering why you don't see me in a lot of chats anymore, that's why. They're not fun to be in. I only want to be around people that are fun. That's why I wanted to start doing this. I wanted to start interacting with people like you and Dylan. It's like, let me see. Yeah, like Mazzy heard me. It can be an absolute clusterfuck lol. I just want I want to slowly but surely, and this is me maybe even sounding pretentious, assembling a team.
I thought that I had the same idea, man.
Yes,
I literally because we all talked about being sick of where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We're very creative. We're very funny people. I mean, I'm the least of the funny guys. You guys are fucking a riot. I mean, that's why I'm in the chat all the damn time.
No, you're funnier than me. Take it back. Take it back,
bro. Not even close. But I feel like how you talked about being on stage performing. It's uncomfortable, but when you write your comedy, right? Like we can write some shit. Like if I wrote a joke, it's way better than me doing the joke, by far. I have like a deadpan presentation. I can't I can't be nice and great. Like man, Dylan is engaging. Like his Hollywood chops come out, and like when he talks, like it draws you in to listen because he has a not an authoritative voice, but just like an informative. He has an informative voice, right? Like a newscaster or something. He always talks about recently being like in a creative sort of dry spell or in a transitional period where he wants to do something else but not sure what he wants to do. I volunteer, Dylan, if you watch this, I told you kind of before, I volunteer my time to help you, and if you ever want us to, we're all willing to help you, man. You deserve 10 times the viewership you have.
Yeah, because he does so much in that show. It's like he's pulling together clips that no one else is doing. It's like if you just talk just Dabbleverse, exactly like the Dabbleverse people, it's the same goddamn 10 clips that these 40 shows are all watching and putting their own commentary over. And it's like, okay, that's great and all, but like, I'm not going to watch it. That's just the bottom line. If this was 3 years ago, I'd probably watch it, but I'm just not going to do it now. And, but he's going out there and he's finding original stuff like the TikTok around the clock stuff, the speed dating stuff, the stuff that no one else is doing. And it's fucking funny. It's funny and it's new. It's something new to watch. Thank titty fucking Jesus. I
know you guys are like into clowns and like circus stuff or whatever, and that's the flavor that he brings, is this really zany, sort of wacky MTV flavor, like Martin Sargent back when G4 TV had Martin Sargent on. Do you remember that guy?
I don't. What is that from?
So there was a video game channel that used to be called Tech TV, and they called it G4 TV after a while. Then it became Spike TV eventually. But they had a late night show called Martin Sargent. I don't know. That's the name of the host. And around here, he lived around where I'm at, and so he was kind of like a local legend because he would just find freak show shit. It was kind of like before. oh fuck, what was that guy? Tosh Point oh?
Tosh Point oh, yeah.
Okay, this is like the prototype version before that came out. And it was a talk show, and he would have people on too. He'd like invite people to come on and do weird shit on the show or whatever. That's why I really want to try to. I need to make time for this. I want to try to find a way that we can get Rodney or Mayo or one of these guys to come on Dylan, you know, promise them exposure or something, you know, and just for an interview, just one time, dude, because I don't know if it would sell the show, but it would just be unique. And these people have their own TikTok followings that we could sort of like poke into.
Yeah,
that's my angle with Shuck and Corny. Also, is that if I can get featured on there, or if I can get Dylan featured, or you, or anybody else, they got thousands of subscribers. I mean, for them to watch your video, because they don't watch nothing. They don't do shit on that show. That show is
there.
They just sit there. If they show you on that show, you're gonna fucking go all the way to the top because they're gonna be like, "Whoa, something different."
Yep.
So that's my angle of what I'm trying to build with those Corn fam. You know, I don't want to do it even for me. I don't want fame and fortune, really. I told Dylan I want to.
You said if your channel ever got to 100 subscribers, you'd delete it out of protest.
I'm not here to entertain the masses. The masses are a bunch of sheep that need to get shaved. I'm here to entertain the weirdos, the wackos, the psychos. You know, that's who I'm here to entertain.
Yeah. Now, Mazzy, if you ever want to come on, you let me know if you were addressing me or someone else in the chat earlier. And you don't have to be on camera. I know you don't like being on camera anymore. I don't think she ever went on camera. But anyway, you ain't got to be on camera. You can just be audio Mazzy. I'd love to sit down and bullshit with you one of these days, and we can talk about racist tweets.
Well, and also, Mazzy, if you're watching, you can also do low-budget avatars, such as, "Hello, how are you today? You could just be King Cobra if you want to." Or I gotta get rid of this fucking thing. I'm addicted to it.
Or you could do like I do and just shake a statue around.
Well, that's the wrong side. You got to turn on the other side.
Oh, to see her butt.
There we go. There you go. That's what the audience really wants.
I have. Oh shit! You know what you just reminded me of? Okay, so like, all right. So as you all know, some of you know more than others. I have my obsessions. Like I like my, the Joker and different Joker universes and different you know what I'm trying to say, multiverses of like Joker and Harley Quinn and stuff. I even have like this thing, which like you can put like a quarter in it, and the car and them will move around and it will play a song. But like what I'm getting at, I didn't just start saying that randomly as an excuse to show my toys, I promise. But like I have more toys coming in the day and they're going, and I've got to pick them up tomorrow at some point. So someone remind me to get my new batch of toys tomorrow, because one of them's a little Harley Quinn doll that I can shake at the screen. I can be like the next Tukey. I'll just shake my Harley Quinn at the screen.
Is it like a rag doll or something, or what is it?
It's just some sort of kind of big plush doll that I saw on Amazon. And I had like a snotty IPA that was like 9% alcohol, and like something I was like, I don't know if I really need this or not. Well, after that IPA, I was like, yes, I want that $30 Harley Quinn doll. I want it right fucking now.
It's in the show. It's in the show budget.
I mean, well, that's what I should do. I should put it all into the show budget. I should just be able to write off all of this nerd shit that I have. Yeah. One day I should just like, I should unhook the laptop and just go around and show like my nerdy stuff, like kind of like a reverse, like Perry Caramello hates showing the camera the stuff that he gets, but I like to show the people the stuff that I have randomly. Let's see. Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if this is related to us or not. Planning to doing some cams soon, just to say, oh, you're going to become a cam girl. Okay, well, congratulations. Be sure to send me the link so I can send you tip money. If that's what you meant, which I am positive you did mean that. I have a feeling she's going to reply very quickly. No, I'm not becoming a cam girl. But um, you know, I guess, like again, me interviewing someone is bad, but I wanted to go back to something.
Okay.
Did you, by any chance, like, if someone had to say when it all started going downhill with Bimmy, uh, is there like a hard line in the sand? Like, is there like a specific video in particular? Like, the good times came to an end right here, and everything past that video has been. Well, I mean, I know it doesn't go from like A quality to F quality overnight, but where you can start seeing the degradation, I guess, is a word
Yeah.
I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
going for it. Maybe it even starts with screen wave. I'd like to hear what you have to say on that.
That is the number one question you will see posted over and over and over again to the Cinemassacre Truth is, at what point did you stop watching Bimmy or did you stop liking Bimmy? It is, you will see that question a million times every month, and everybody has a different answer. There's no consensus at all. For me, I am deep down in my heart of hearts, I'm a big old teddy bear.
Mm.
I'm a very forgiving, loving guy. Even during my bad years, like I was still not that bad, like I had my code of honor that I lived by.
You wouldn't have liked me 5 years ago. There'd been no way. There'd been no way you'd have been calling me many words. But that was before my medication. Back to you.
But for me with Bimmy, it's the damnedest thing. What turned me off to Bimmy, nobody else ever talks about or ever mentions. I'm alone in this, I guess. He made the movie. He came back, blah,
Yeah.
blah, and it's rough. It's going down. I'm still there. I'm still watching it. I still like the stuff. Okay, I don't like it as much as I used to, but I'll see where it goes. And then one day he posts a video that's like a vlog
Yeah.
of him and Mike Matei are talking, and they're talking about cats.
Mm-hmm.
And Bimmy's telling stories about his cats for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's the video. There's no jokes. It's just, he tells us, oh, my cat did this funny thing one time. And it was like a couple of old ladies.
Because
It's
it
like,
doesn't translate to an audience. You can't make that interesting to an audience what your cat did because you don't even have video. You're just trying to. My cat was running around in a circle. Good Lord, you had to be there, buddy.
And the stories, it wasn't even good stories like it attacked somebody or it ruined something. No, it was just like the nature of his cat and cats in general. And Mike is trying to like steer it into a fun place, but if you've ever seen James and Mike Mondays,
I did.
that Mike is kind of a lively guy. He's got problems, but he's lively, he's snappy, he can hold a conversation, and Bimmy's just over there just like passing out, looking at the clock, and the same thing with this. He's telling this vlog story about his cats, and Mike Matei is desperately trying to pick it up. But Bimmy's just over there. And it's like, and it was the first time that I left a negative comment.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, hey, I just don't think this is what your audience is really looking for. That's all I said. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say you suck or I hate you or anything. It's just like, I'm not sure this is, what you should be doing, And I got dog piled in a big fucking way. And that's when I started realizing that this thing I've been a part of for, I don't know, a decade at that point, it's not all one group like it used to be. It used to be unanimous that Bimmy was good. You would never hear anybody say anything bad about Bimmy. I mean, really, like it was very rare in the golden years that anybody said anything negative. And then when the cracks started forming, that's when you get this schism. And it's not a black and white schism. Like I said, it's actually a three-way schism.
Yeah.
But I end up on the dark side of the force, I guess you can say.
Okay.
The truthers are the largest community, and a lot of us are old Bimmy fans. I mean, it's been said before, not my words, but it's been said that we are the true Bimmy fans. We're still here. We're just, we have dissent because we don't want him to, Screen Wave, definitely a big problem at the time. But now we're looking back on it like, at least there was memes, at least there was funny shit. But now, like, fucking John is a human thumb, and he's about as funny as a thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bimmy, I became a dad, and I lost my edge a little bit as far as like comedy and things I'm willing to say, willing to do. Right, like there's only so much I can do now that I'm a dad. I have certain limits that
Yeah.
I won't tell you what they are, but I'm there.
Yeah.
And Bimmy now has limits too, where he has to force the vulgarity, and it doesn't flow from him like it used to.
If I could jump in, I wanted to point that out. It's what while I've never gotten angry enough to even sign up for one of the Cinemassacre Truth subreddits or anything like that, or even to leave like a mean comment, I did notice it's like there was this basically a point in time where it was like, even though it's obviously rehearsed and written and all that, his vulgarity was coming out naturally. And then and then it seems like, nope, this is take 14, and he doesn't. I know he doesn't mean it, but I can clearly tell he doesn't mean it from his acting. One of the big ones that I saw that's not even vulgarity related, it might be one of the Screenwave ones that by and large was a very funny episode, but there's this one part in it that just went up my ass sideways and I hated more than anything. I think it was the Big Rig Trucks episode, and he fake laughed, and it was the fakest laugh. You were supposed to, as the audience, you're supposed to believe he is truly laughing. This is honest laughter coming from Bimmy right now, and it absolutely was. And it made me fucking mad. I didn't like that. I'm like, if you can't, I've always come of this, and it's coming from like the wrestling mindset. If you can't do something, don't do it. Okay, if you can't jump off the top rope with a leg drop without hurting yourself or hurting your opponent, you just don't fucking do it. You do a different move. Yeah. So, and to me, that's like, even though I'm not an actor or anything, I would know full well I can't laugh. I can't laugh on camera and make it sound like I'm truly laughing in the heat of the moment. Like, whether you like them or not, Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd laugh on film very naturally, and they make me laugh when they laugh in a movie. Not fucking Bimmy. That was the worst thing I ever seen. And I guess it's just the nature of, like, I was talking to this Spurg about this. It's just like, once they went high definition, and I'm assuming this was all. I'm assuming the high definition and screen wave all happened at about the same time. It felt like the show didn't have life anymore. It wasn't like an honest show by a passionate guy that's wanting to put out good content to make people laugh and happy. And you can almost time it with when he started getting like sponsorships, like how he would give canned responses like, I can't wait to put in my Raycon earbuds. They're listened to by many of today's top hip hop artists. It was like that.
It corporatized. It was the corporatized slop, and I 100% agree. It lost the punk rock indie angle that it used to have, and became produced. And even then, I was still on board. But really, part of the digital part of it is that the piss filter, the yellow filter that made him like the whole nerd room was rebuilt in his garage. It's smaller. Like it wasn't even just a high definition. It was that everything had changed. And he had acting lessons for the movie, and ever since he got those acting lessons, it just fucked him up. And I don't know, like, he was better improvising.
Yeah, very much so. I don't know. It's like I still want to I still check in every now and then, and I'll see like if he's done new videos, and I'll watch them.
Yeah.
And there, you know, it's like we say with a lot of stuff, it just isn't the same. You might smile here and there, you might even have a laugh, but it's not like those old. Like for me, one of my favorite episodes of that old era, one of the first ones, was when he goes to get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Atari game, and it had like that you know that additional actor that he had for it. It was really good. You could tell it's him and his friends fucking around and doing this all themselves, and they came up with gold, and it's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I mean, now that I dabble in doing that kind of stuff, I mean, I do very minimal. I mean, I it's pretty obvious, I think, but I'm one guy with a phone. These guys had like boom mics, and they had like apparently tripods. We know about that. They had all this equipment and stuff. And he had been fucking around with cameras since he was a kid, and I only very sparingly ever did that. So there was a time, man, when it was. Even now, he inspires me. That old stuff inspires me about what I can do with practical effects. No computer, no nothing. I can't even like animate shit. I'm literally just doing everything in camera. Everything's in camera. So I have to use projectors. I have to use, camera, infinite point of view shots, and like I don't know. I have to get clever with what I do, and I'm very limited. But I like it because it drives the creativity further.
Yeah,
and even the stupid King Cobra cardboard puppet was born of that, where it's like I need a puppet. Okay, I can get a paper bag and like glue the paper bag part of it, and make a Cobra puppet out of that. Like, but that's too loud; it's gonna crinkle too much. And so I watching old brain rot from the '90s and the '80s, and all this low budget sort of strange things that we used to watch. It's very inspiring, and Bimmy was like the culmination of all that, and he had the video game flavor, which I like. I like classic games a lot, and
especially when he would play a game that was near and dear to your heart, even if it wasn't like a household name or fan favorite game. Like when he finally covered like the Friday the 13th game, that was like that episode. It was like it was written for me.
Right?
Like I was all in on that one. And it's just him and his friends fucking around, coming up with something unique and fun. And
he had all the same observations that you did as a kid.
Yeah.
So and hearing him voice that, you're like, you know what, The Rock kind of sucks because it arcs downward.
Yes.
It's like, I've been saying that for years. And he's over here flipping out, drinking beers and yelling and shit. Like, I was a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden as a kid. Ninja Gaiden was one of the first games I ever got from my Nintendo. And it's a groundbreaking cinematic, tour de force. And when he does his version of it, he does the training montage to get better at the game. And so, like, he has to put his thumbs in the fan, and he has to go fast, like so the fan doesn't chop his thumbs. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. That like the only way to beat the game is that his thumbs have to get faster. And he's like, they did that thing from Bloodsport where Jean-Claude Van Damme and his master have like strings. And they're pulling strings back. He's doing his thumbs. He has like strings on his thumbs. Just goofy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
But like it doesn't cost anything except for string. And visually it's a great joke. And it's like, damn, this is brilliant because it's a zero budget show that every week I was glued, man. I was ready to go every week. New Bimmy.
Yeah, and I mean it's there's other things that we all thought about as a kid too. Like remember the one episode, I don't know if it was about a game in particular. I think it might have even been the Top Gun one, but don't quote me on that, where he's bitching about like the size of the plugins that you got to plug into the wall or into a strip or something. You're like, why are some of these plugins have this gigantic box that weighs 2 or 3 pounds, so you can't even put on the wall if you want? It's just going to fall out and turn off your game. Yep. And it was like, that was the shit that I was bitching about as a kid too. It's like, why does it make your goddamn thing so fucking big? It doesn't make any sense.
I really,
yeah. Well, and then other things I don't remember if he went into this, but it's memory unlocked. So I gotta say it now, or it's gonna haunt me later. It's gonna haunt me at 2 a.m. I'm gonna email you and go, I forgot to say this. Like, did you have to do the TV trick where you had to put the thing like this behind the screw and then screw
Oh
the.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
God, that thing, that fucking thing. And God, the picture quality was fucking atrocious. It's like no one understands the hell there was no HDMI. And there wasn't even like, yellow, white, and red. It was that damn fork that you screwed behind a screw.
Yeah.
No one can understand how ghetto that was.
And how hard it was to get in there. I mean, you had to turn the whole fucking thing around to get in there.
Yeah, just pray that it worked on top of
Yeah.
all that. And then on the opposite end of it, like try installing your first new car radio. You basically had to work for NASA to figure out how to, because your car radio back in 1999 for some goddamn reason had 420 wires.
Yeah. That's true.
Just a side note.
One of my favorite Bimmies was the Atari 5200 because nobody had that when I was a kid. We all had 2600 and a couple had 78s. So it's this mysterious thing. And I'd always heard rumors that they don't work. They break all the time. The controller breaks all the time. And lo and behold, the one that him and Mike had gotten for the episode, they couldn't get the fucking thing to work properly. And now at that point, you can just shelve the episode and say it's a loss.
Yeah.
Too bad. Or show the frustration in camera as the nerd. Watch him struggle with it. He's fucking with the plugs. He's fucking with the wires, getting mad. And that's the majority of the episode is him setting things up and it not working. And that's the joke.
Yeah.
So it becomes this like anti-humor, almost like Kids in the Hall level comedy.
Oh.
I mean, it really becomes meta at a certain point. It's like this is amazing for amateur comedy, really. Like for a guy who has no training in comedy, no improv training, never wrote comedy before. Like this is almost Kids in the Hall. Like this is really good.
Well, when we talk about like angry video game nerd, and I've brought this up to other people and Spurg as well, I always feel like I've also got to start segueing into talking about this other character that came into prominence at around that same time. Well, actually, a few years before, that Maddox character. Were you familiar with that guy and his website?
Maddox? No, I was not.
Okay. We won't go down that one then. Now it'll turn to. Let me tell you about something you don't know nothing about. Which is nothing more torturous.
Well, I mean, it's your show, but
no.
But I was going to ask you: have you ever gotten into Nostalgia Critic and his website and all those kind of guys? And
I know just very basic stuff about that. I know that they tried to do like maybe like a worked feud for a minute, like many years ago.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like they weren't trying to fool anybody. It was obviously a worked feud, but I don't really remember what all went on about that. I mean, did that does that guy have a similar story arc where he was at one time, universally loved and then he started to go downhill, or is he pretty much staying, true to his art, I guess?
I mean, somewhat similar. He never got married or had kids, so he's still doing what he's doing. He's not able to do it on the level that he used to, but as far as like interacting with fans and whatnot, he has a podcast. He streams a lot. He doesn't mind when people show his content or laugh at him or troll him. He rolls with it. He likes the attention, and he's actually more charming now than he's ever been before, which is very strange to me. Whereas Bimmy, like everyone's like, we're kind of disillusioned by him. Doug Walker's not funnier or better at his art. He still sucks, but he's more likable now. So
yeah. That was the other thing too. Cause you watched like I'm assuming you watched like the retail reviews and stuff too, didn't you? Yeah. It's like, and I'm sure you had the same takeaway from it too. It's like everybody else in that room seemed like they were having fun and they were, off the cuff funny, in the moment funny, and the one guy that you would think would be the funniest guy in the room was the least funny in the entire room.
You would think that he would be all into it, but he just felt so awkward, and I think it's because they were the original episodes were in his basement in his little VHS rental room that he has down there.
Yeah,
Video store. So I think that was intimidating for him to have so many people going on in there. But when they moved it over to that set, they had a set for a little while.
Yeah.
I feel like he opened up more, and that became worse because then he's like trying to like tell jokes and be funny, and it's fucking awkward. So I actually prefer him being silent and not being engaging at all. He's less embarrassing.
Yeah, and that was the set that I don't know if Screenwave owns the set or what, but I know I mostly knew it from Tony from Hack the Movies.
Yes.
Tony from Hack the Movies had that set. I don't know if he still has it to this day. My understanding is he doesn't work with them anymore. He just completely does his own thing. But do you know if he still uses that set or not?
I've never watched his content, so
Okay.
the running gag on Cinemassacre Truth is that nobody ever gets his name right. That's the running gag, is that he's so unfamous that like nobody cares to get his name correct. So he's been Toby from Flap the Boobies. He's been Timmy from Hack the Boobies. Whatever. Like it's I'm in that boat where it's like I never really watched him.
Uh-huh.
I don't like him or dislike him. He just exists. I know Sam Bibley mentioned that he was on a Shmuel Buckman show recently. I went back and watched it. And yeah, Tony, he does think a little highly of himself.
Tony from Hack the Movies was on Shmuel Buckman?
Yes, sir. And now Sam Bibley told me, he was being rude to all of us, right? Now, would I use the term rude? On a strong level, maybe, but it was more just like smarmy and snarky, just a little sassy boy, like. So I guess that's kind of rude. Yeah, being sassy is rude. So
yeah, well, that's weird. Okay, because I didn't know that he came into the Dabbleverse really much at all. I'd seen a little bit of cross pollination. I knew that he had he's friends with like the WATP guys and some people along those lines.
He was in Dylan's chat during the Bimmy book review.
I did see that. That's right.
Yeah. So he knows about the Dabbleverse somehow. I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure how either. See, I used to like kind of troll Tony, but it was good-natured trolling. I had this idea. Well, I got a kick out of Tony's content. Okay, because like I saw him do a special video with James one time about how to fix Halloween 6, and I thought it was really good. I got a kick out of this Tony guy, so I started watching his stuff once he had it. I had this idea in my head. Again, I'm probably going to sound pretentious by even saying it out loud. God, I apologize. Please put one right here if you got to. But like, I was like, man, this guy, he deserves to be more popular than what he is. And like, I had an idea for myself for him. It's like, I'm going to tease this guy in a way that's like not threatening or anything, but I'm going to pretend to be an obsessed fan. So I started like over commenting him like crazy, but I was trying to make sure that I wasn't like a threat, but I was I was a little too obsessed with this shit. Like I even went so far as to buy like some of his merchandise, and like what I did with it was like I bought like a Tony shirt. And I had a bunch of candles, and actually, this is great right here. I got props. I bought a bunch of candles like these from like Yankee Candle, and like I put a bunch of his merchandise onto my floor in my kitchen, and I was like making it out like I was worshiping Tony and stuff like that. And I would do this periodically. So I was like, yeah, this might be this might be a layer he needs. And then one day I just like, it's not doing anything for him. It's not doing anything for me. I'm just going to drop it. And one day I always wanted to like, because I didn't even know he was this much into the Dabbleverse. I always just wanted to have like a 30-second conversation with him just to make sure he understood that I was working, that I wasn't really obsessed with him or anything like that. I just thought, I think this could help, but it didn't. So I gotta say, hey, mistakes. I made mistakes. I should have just been supportive in a different way. But
it's interesting. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because during the time that I had sympathy for my lolcow, that was the character that I took on. Was in his Discord, I was called DWG Fan Club, so Dancing with Ghosts Fan Club, which does not exist. There is no fan club. Nobody gives a fuck about his band. They suck. So, but I'm the fan club president, self-appointed. That gives me like a level of authority that's like imagined, right? Like, so yes, I'm working, but not everybody knows this. Right? Josh Dancing with Ghosts, he knows I'm working. I fully doxed myself. I told him all about me. I wrote him a handwritten letter. I explained to him what I am doing, so that there's no miscommunication. Like, I am a troll, and I am here to troll you. Game on. And I announced myself. But anyway, a bunch of his sycophants that love him a whole lot were like, "Oh, why is he the fan club? But he talks all this shit." And it's like, well, I have the right to, because I'm the fan club president. I can say whatever I want, right? Like, and I got the idea from the damnedest of places. My favorite show of all time is Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, I love that show growing up. God almighty, yeah.
There's an episode called Stimpy's Fan Club, where Ren becomes the president of Stimpy's Fan Club. Now that leads to things, and that's what inspired me. I said, hey, if I'm going to fight this dude, not really fight, like just a duel of wits. We're gonna have a battle of wits. This is the persona that I'm going to take on, and it's going to lead to all kinds of funny shit, and it did. So I find it very strange that you took on a similar thing. I didn't have no shrines, but that would have been great. I really would have liked to have known you back then. I would have stole your idea and built a fucking shrine. And like, I would have found a dead animal out in the creek and like put it there and be like, oh,
yeah. I mean, I was dedicated to it because I don't want to bore anyone with it too hard. I mean, I was probably hammering that guy with like, fake psychotic fan bullshit from like definitely through the start of the pandemic, because that's probably when I first started like really going into it, and like through to the beginning of 2022, and that's when I was just like, this ain't doing anything for either of us. I'm just gonna drop it. But he never unfollowed me, so I guess he probably did. He seems like he would know that I was like. He probably didn't know why I was doing it, but he knew I was working in some way or another. But yeah, no, I don't know. I wish them all the best. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh, sure.
I did want to ask you this, going back to you, because this episode's all about you. There's a day that you said to yourself, it's time for me to start making content on YouTube or whatnot. What was that day like, and did you have a plan already in place, or did you just blindly turn on the camera one day and just start yapping?
I needed a new way of trolling him, because being in the chat, and I wasn't even in the Discord yet at that point. I was just in the chat only. And he had given out the address of his place of work so that he could like receive packages and things like that. So I felt like I had a certain advantage over him, and I wanted to make a video. So here's what happened. He streamed some Bimmy content, and he got a copyright strike for it, which ruined my fun, because I'm a troll in the chat, and when the stream gets shut down, my fun gets shut down. And I wasn't mad at him about it. I'm mad at Screenwave and Justin Silverman. I'm mad at them about it. So I made a video that is unlisted at this moment in time. That was like a fan video.
Yeah.
But the point of in this fan video, I accuse him of wasting time during streams by peeing too much, and like it was still riffing on him a little bit. Like, even though it wasn't kissing his ass, it was like, oh, I'm funny too, And in this video, I have a cardboard cutout of Justin Silverman's head that I shoot with a pellet gun, and there's a ketchup comes out of his head, and I call him a Snorlax, and I tell him I'm going to come back and pee on him before I throw him in the creek. Because spoiler alert, everybody, I don't like Justin Silverman. I don't like Screenwave. And I don't mean that with hyperbole. No. I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean, Justin Silverman can eat a whole bunch of arsenic and float his fat ass down the river. So so I got mad about that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make this fan video, and I'm going to hope that I get featured. And he did. Now, when you feed the troll comes back.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So I'm like, I need to make better videos and bigger videos and crazier videos. And that's what started the whole thing, was that I wanted to steer his channel by being funnier or more interesting than him, under the guise of, well, hey, you know, if you need something to watch that's not copyrighted and won't get you in trouble, I'll make content for your channel.
Yeah.
But in that content, I'm also kind of making fun of him a little bit. So like, he was okay with that at first because he likes to put on this persona of he can roll with the punches and nothing really bothers him. And to be fair, he's very apathetic. It's hard to make him angry about shit because he's numb. He's emotionally numb to everything. But I know his buttons that can be pushed. I'm more than willing to teach this art to other people. But there's a lack of people that want to troll him because he's so boring. To get clips for my clip shows that I do of him, it's grueling. It's you know, I told people it's like digging through solid rock as a coal miner. You know, like it takes hours and hours and hours to get a rise out of this guy.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm banned from his chat. We've blocked each other's phone numbers. I have his phone number. I know everything. He knows everything about me. I know everything about him. We are on even playing field.
Yeah.
But he will never talk about me or mention me because it gives me exposure.
Okay.
And it draws people to my channel. And when they watch me, they're like, oh, this guy is actually funnier than him. I mean, I'm not funnier than anybody else except Josh Cannon in this point. Okay. Real talk. And even now on the subreddit, I don't promote myself because I don't want like too much attention. I don't want too many subscribers. It's very like a secret club, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's like the secret menu at certain restaurants. You know,
Yeah.
you want people to know about it, but you want to be able to control the flow of people.
I like to know my audience.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my audience. I've interacted with them. I've talked to them. I know what they like or they don't like. So it's never going to be a wild guess what they want to see out of me. I do feel like I've been abusing the streaming thing a lot because it's a lot of fun and it's really easy to do. I do have ideas coming up for content. It's just school started recently and third quarter is wrapping up, and it's just there's a lot of things going on where I don't have if I'm gonna do stuff, I want it to be good, to you know, as good as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, there are videos I rushed that people like it, but I'm not happy with it. So I don't want to George Lucas everything too much, but I'm halfway done with my next video. It's going to be another Rick Beatoff. I don't know if you know my Rick Beatoff character.
Not yet, because like
okay.
I like through Dylan, I found you, and I've watched sporadically, so I don't have all the lore to make sense in my brain yet.
Oh yeah, no worries. Are you familiar with Rick Beato, the YouTuber?
No.
He's an old musician guy that's like millions and millions of subscribers on YouTube, and his whole content is that he talks about classic rock and music and, you know, basically what Dancing with Ghosts wishes he could do. He's an old boomer, and he's very, you know, he's nice and he's sweet and he's charming. But my version of him, instead of Beato, it's Beat Off, because it's spelled Beato, add a couple F's. There you go, right?
Yeah.
My version of him is Jimmy Durante, Muddy Mudskipper, and Carl from Aqua Teen rolled into one character. And so it's probably not as funny as I like it to be, but I love doing the voice a lot, and I can't stop myself from wanting to do it. So,
well, okay. Well, I hope your channel doesn't get too big, because what I've seen of it so far, it makes me laugh. Especially that last one I got to see where you did your fake hair in a certain way while you were watching that one person. What was his name? It was the one about the closet.
Crying in the closet, yeah.
Crying in the closet.
That's my interpretation of him. I make it way more flaming and more like just cartoonish. He's only mildly gay, whereas Crying in the Closet is like full on flaming, cocksucking, cocaine snorting freak, you know.
Just aching for that big, juicy, veiny cock gay. Yes.
Well, you saw the tattoo thing that I put on the arm and all that.
Yes, yeah. It was very nice. It was very artistic, you know. I had to get a washable marker. It's my kid's marker.
And I'm in the bathroom drawing a dick on my arm, and I'm like, I hope they don't come in here because I can't explain this. And lo and behold, my little one, my 5-year-old, walked in. She said, Daddy, what are you doing? I said, look at the dog bone. It's cool, right? It's a dog bone. And she's like, yeah, it's cool. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta get out of here.
And you're just lucky that kids at that age, they're not going to have too many follow-up questions. They're like, that dog bone doesn't look historically accurate to other dog bones. Could you give me the reasons behind these artistic changes when you put that on your arm? You know?
And someday when they're teenagers, they're gonna look back and they'll be like, Dad, you tricked me. You lied to me. And it's just gonna create a schism, I'm sure. So,
Dad, I found your YouTube channel from 20 years ago. That was a dick you drew on your arm, you liar.
that wasn't a dog bone.
That wasn't a dog bone.
I saw you stroking it and fucking licking it. You know?
It's like I was telling my friends for years. I remember my dad drawing a dog bone on his arm. Now my friends call me liars. They don't trust me anymore. They constantly link me to this video, and they do the this you, and then there's the link, and I click on it. Dad with the dick on the arm.
What else have you lied about, Dad?
What else have you lied about? You fucking liar.
Right? Someday, man, someday it's gonna come back to me.
And that's the thing. It's like that's it's internet in general. I try to tell people it's like if you're gonna do it. But there's things that you can't do. You can't cry. You can't cry on the internet. Don't cry on the internet. Not on video, at least. If you cry on the internet, you're going to get hit with this you and a link to your crying video the rest of your life. You can be forgiven for a lot. You can be dopey, dumb, have bad takes. Anything, everything will go away except for you having to bring. Oh, when will I find true love? I'm a dark wall of sadness in the abyss of a black hole inside of a refrigerator in a hallway that's about to collapse through my sadness. You can't do that. That's all you can't do is you have one rule. And I'm remarkable how every day I'll see someone like, you just cried on the internet. That's the nope.
There's crying on the internet that became famous, like leave Britney alone.
Oh yeah, that
you
one.
know, like don't cry on the internet, man. You're gonna get famous in the wrong kind of way.
Yeah, and that guy did it before it was monetized. He did it for free.
Yeah, it was real. That's a real one.
It was a real one. He was a real one.
That wasn't working.
He was in that same group of them idiots that went viral in the before time, like the fat guy that did he just mouthed along to some popular song, that Abby Da song or whatever. Yeah. And like he didn't make a dime from it, from what I understand. And even before that, before YouTube, if this will unlock a memory for you, what about Star Wars Kid? Remember him?
Oh yeah.
That guy, that fucker got. You probably have the same random story. Someone just said, "Hey, when you load up Kazaa or Napster today, look up Star Wars Kid, LOL, and you'll see some dipshit in his garage." And well, I did, and I had myself a chuckle.
I mean, I love the fan edit where they add all the special effects and they add like lasers and shit.
Oh God, no, those were good too. And that was in the early days of, any kind of like video editing, photoshopping, and it looked very good. I remember, I mean, this might be a fake memory, but I swear I remember some of the people that were more kind-hearted about it, like maybe they tried to get George Lucas's attention with that stuff. I might be making that up though, so don't quote me on that. I take too many meds to be a reliable narrator, if I can say that word right. I'll sound like Bimmy with some of his words like that he can't say right. Well, was one of them like content annuity or something like that?
Conduity. He has a hard time with T. So it's not mountain, it's Mountain, right?
Mountain, okay.
Anytime it's a T, you just put a D in there.
It's like one a joke I used to say at work. It's like it's like you might say it perimeter, you might say it parameter, but it's never parameter.
I'll be the one guy saying parameter. That's me.
It's like,
I love being that guy.
I don't want to keep you all night. Is there any other notes of the song of your life that you want to tell the world about before we, wrap up today for this? As you discovered, I'm not a good interviewer, but darn it, I tried.
You did fine. I had a good time. No, not really. Let me see. I always have a shout out list laying around.
Oh, and Chocolate Rain. No, Chocolate Rain.
There you go. Man, and time is just going by so quickly that I look back on this. It's like, oh, it was 20 years ago. Like, 20 years ago? Star Wars Kid was 20 years ago?
20 years ago. I think about stuff from the past from that era, like the first 3 seasons of Arrested Development being like, to me, it was like the most perfect comedy of all time. And it absolutely devastated me that, that the show came to an end in 2006. And it had so many callback jokes because that was one of the jokes in the show. Like, George Michael made a video where he looked like a Star Wars kid. And then, and I don't know, I like to go back to that era, the simple era of Arrested Development, the first couple of, I guess we could call it seasons of Angry Video Game Nerd, when shit was simpler and funner.
Yeah, it was the last dying breath of true creativity before everything had to be corporatized slop, before we had AI writing shit. I mean, we got lucky that we got to taste real creativity, because now, like, people like us are going to become rare. There's not going to be like naturally creative people that remember old styles of comedy and artistic, because it's not just about like, okay, brain rot, right? Like, what is brain rot? It's surrealism. You could look at Salvador Dali paintings and say that's brain rot, right? Like, you look at Ende from Germany, his surrealism, you could say that's brain rot. But when you mix it with comedy, or you mix it with horror or drama, and surrealism can be a powerful tool to tell stories with. And you're into Joker, right? Like, you like the Joker a lot. Joker is a surrealistic character because there's no concrete structure to what he can do. He's a vague force, but he's a powerful force, right? If he became definable, if we had a concrete backstory, that would ruin him. And I hate backstories for Joker. Some of them are okay, but
if I can jump in there with that, and what you did there was, it was one of those unintentional things. It's like, oh yes, I get to tell more of my backstory.
Go.
Talking about that stuff. It's like, that's part of the reason. It's like, okay, and for those of you that aren't super in the comic book lore, one of the good things about comic books, and this is up for debate for some people. Some people are like, no, I want one universe and that is it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm like, well, that doesn't allow for mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers. If we have a multiverse, then we can have, nobody's favorite, the damaged Joker, which is my favorite of all of them because I'm a contrarian. I don't know. But if we don't have multiverses, then we've only got one Joker ever. That means there's no Jack Nicholson Joker. There's no Heath Ledger Joker. There's no Jared Leto Joker. There's no whatever that Joker was from the 2022 Batman. You never really got, if you know what I'm talking about, the one with the Twilight guy, guy Batman movie. And we wouldn't have the TV universe's Joker. We would only have one. And it's why I like it, because you can experiment once in a while. You can say, okay, in universe 42A, we'll have a backstory to this Joker. So if if you don't like it, you just don't revisit that comic book line again. You go to one of the other ones, because that's the good thing about comics. So you make generally they make it pretty clear. Like if you're buying this comic, it's in this multiverse. So if you're not interested in this multiverse, just stay away from it. So if you like what we call like Joker Prime from the original Batman from the beginning, if you like that, then you just stick with that. And that's one of the things that draw me into. It's like there's all the different backstories that the creative forces behind it have made real interesting to someone like me. Like, you know, in one of the universes, you know, this Joker is someone that's just, in a sense, I'm not trying to read too much into it or get any audience to read too much into it, but when you're beaten down by life as much as you can be, you can turn a little bit loony and maybe have some, you know.
Oh yeah, I've had breaks from reality. I've full on had psychotic fucking manic breakdowns where everything turns white or red and you just fucking you lose it, right? I mean, anger or sadness can really fucking hit you sometimes.
Yeah.
Without getting too deep into psychology or anything, you'll never guess my favorite Joker. I'll give you 5 guesses.
Out of all the available multiverses, if I could just pick one of them,
every Joker that's ever existed in all of history, I'll give you 5 guesses. Which is my favorite Joker?
The Mark Hamill one.
Nope.
Okay. Jack Nicholson.
No. I don't necessarily. I don't mean actors. I mean like every iteration of the Jokers.
Oh, I'm not gonna get that.
Too much.
It's too much. There's too many for me. There's too many dicks in the tree for me to pick at. You know.
But the one that is my favorite doesn't have a dick. Martha Wayne is my favorite Joker.
I'd have never got that. Never.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that she became the Joker in one of the universes. So.
Oh. Let's see.
Did you ever read a Flashpoint Paradox?
Yeah, yes, but it's too much.
Terrible. It's weird and terrible.
It's too much.
But I liked Thomas Wayne Batman, and I liked Martha Wayne Joker. I like the dynamic of that. Like Bruce gets killed as a kid, and it drives the parents crazy, and like that. I like the flipping of that. That was kind of fun. And Thomas Wayne Batman, he's got guns. He owns a casino. He's fucking shooting. I mean, he's like the Punisher, bro. He's awesome. I love that story. That was a great story.
That's the thing about comics. It's like, even though, you know, once in a while they'll put out some shit that's like to go with the times, you know, some woke propaganda. It's like, well, I can forgive it because it's in this universe, and I just don't ever need to revisit that universe, and I'm still fine. So just because I saw some, you know, stuff that maybe politically I disagree with, typically it's like, it was over here in Universe X, so I just don't go there anymore. But it's all good. Oh shit! I knocked my fucking ear things out of my ear. I can't hear you. I hope you're not cussing. But I think another exciting episode of me streaming and rambling is coming to an end, because I don't want to keep you forever and ever and ever. Are you doing any shows this week? Are you on the schedule with anyone this week?
Not that I know of. I would like to get together with Narm sometime, because he started streaming recently, and we like a lot of sci-fi and Star Trek and that kind of stuff. So that'd be kind of a fun conversation to talk about, kind of where science fiction's at right now, and where it could go, or where it ought to go. Because let's be real, Star Wars and Star Trek are in the toilet at the moment.
Very much.
Like, where do we go from here? What can we do with that or with other things? When he has time, because we have lives outside of things, and I wish I would have been streaming when I was younger, because otherwise I was just smoking weed all day and jacking off. So this has been a waste of my time. I like to give out shout outs to my friends that have their own YouTube channels.
Shout them out.
I'm going to go really quickly. So if anything sounds interesting, folks, go back and pause the video and slow it down to 25%, like I taught Dylan. And to do the shout outs, we have your boy
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have to recommend to you Lance Woolley, Immortal Ugly Fish, Ozzy on YouTube, Brown Electrons, Jimmy After Dark, Defy Gravity FPV, Gummy Chainsaw, Luigi and Corn Div, Lord Taco, Wicked Tone Studios, Shuck and Corny, Sam Bibley, Deft, Seizure Robot 5000, Spur Snake, Dylan from Somewhere. Unbelievable!
What a maneuver! No, you were smart. You kept me off of wrestling for the most part on this thing, or I would have probably started going down too many. Like,
I want to talk about WrestleMania 3 and how it's the most important thing that happened to me as a child, but I had no context of the before or the after. But now I'm watching primetime wrestling week by week by week by week, loving every fucking minute of it because Bobby Heenan and Gorilla are just fucking chef's kiss.
Oh yeah, just great comedic duos people don't give them. They don't think of them as a comedic duo in the history of comedic duos, but they were. It's just that they were in the wrestling universe. I mean, Gorilla Monsoon's like the classic, like straight man to like Bobby Heenan's ridiculous observations. I mean, there were so many great ones throughout the year. Like I remember Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, was in the ring with, I believe, Roddy Piper, and Roddy Piper had him by his, red tie, and like, and Bobby Heenan is just screaming, "He's got him by his tongue!" And Gorilla Monsoon just hits him with that classic, "Oh, be serious!" And just great things like that.
Yeah, Gorilla Monsoon gets pretty sharp sometimes too. For being a straight man, he'll come at Bobby hard and fucking riff him bad, and it's really fun. Primetime wrestling. I never saw it as a kid because it's on too late at night. So I got to see the lead up. I get to see the aftermath. Again, WrestleMania 3 it's so big in my mind. The spectacle. I was 5 years old, and being a 5-year-old is kind of like one of the earliest memories of like a sporting event. Before Super Bowl or anything, I saw this thing, and it was just, even now, man, seeing that midget get splashed on.
Jesus, I thought he was dead.
Well, that's what they said in the commentary too. They're like, he killed him. He killed us. Like,
killed him. Shit. He killed that fucking dirty midget. That dirty fucking midget's dead. That was the original commentary till the woke left went in there and cleaned it up for Peacock.
And then here's the best part is that I loved it for years. I loved that for years. And now the week after, Bobby Heenan and Gorilla are talking about it on Primetime Wrestling. Now I've never seen it before, never heard it before. And he says, "Oh, that's terrible that he did that." And Bobby Heenan was the manager. He said, "Why didn't you tell him?" And he says, I did tell him, don't touch the midget. Don't touch the midget. You don't know where he's been. And I said, "Oh shit, that's great. That's 5 stars, homie." And you hear the director off camera. The director is like, "Ha ha ha." You hear him laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Holy shit, they got the director on that one too." That was great.
When you could get them like, I mean, you probably have seen some of the same videos I had, like the unintentional funny moments, like when someone has like just the worst interview ever, and it's so bad it makes Gene Okerlund start cracking up, and he's got to hide behind. He has to hide behind the wrestler because he's shaking so bad because it's such a terrible interview.
I love it.
And then there's I don't know. There's great ones like Dylan, I think, was playing this recently, but like Dr. D. David Schultz going, "Hulk Hogan, I was in San Francisco and I didn't see nary one a woman. I just saw a bunch of men with other men." And that's who you're looking for, Hulk Hogan, just looking for man in San Francisco. And I'm like, and there was another one where the camera, if I'm remembering it correctly, Gene Okerlund starts going, "Oh shit!" Even in the 80s, like, "This is fucked up," and he starts laughing, and the camera starts zooming out because I think Gene Okerlund was cracking up off stage, like, "Those gays spreading AIDS."
Have you ever seen Gene Okerlund and the Bushwhackers, and they're making lunch or something in a cafeteria?
I'm sure I have. It's probably on one of those tapes, like, Primetime Wrestling at the Dude Ranch or something like that.
Yeah, Primetime Wrestling would do like sketches.
Yes.
They would have Gene Okerlund, like one of them, Gene Okerlund and Bobby Heenan go golfing.
Yeah,
together. That one's good. But the one with Gene Okerlund and the Bushwhackers making lunch, I highly recommend that. That's very enjoyable because it shows that Gene Okerlund has comedic timing like a boss. He could do comedy for sure.
Oh, he did, and he got to do that a little bit on his own in WCW toward the end, where they would let him just you don't have to act like a straight man all the time. If you got something funny to say, just fucking say it on camera, and he did. There were funny times like I remember Gene Okerlund leering at Major Gunn's gigantic boobs. And acting like he was drunk while giving an interview before. And I was like, you may as well just, have some fun. I mean, that's the thing. It's like one thing, it's like wrestling, when it's funny, organically funny, was some of the best comedy on the planet, period. Now you can't force it. Like if you write it, it's atrocious, like AEW comedy is the worst shit that's ever existed in the history of worst shit. But the natural, unexpected, funny shit that wrestling's done over the years, probably the biggest funny ha-ha thing that any of us ever saw was the goddamn Shockmaster falling.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be a great thing for a show as a recommendation that's kind of dawned on me. Do like top 10 funny moments of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot to draw from, dude. I mean, really, like one of my favorites that stands out from all time is Owen Hart is a nugget. And that's when they made fun of the Hart Foundation, or what was it?
The Nation of Domination. Yeah. Like Owen Hart had just recently joined the Nation of Domination randomly and really wasn't part of the Nation of Domination long. Right. And there wasn't any like exit. It's not like one day the rest of the nation beat him up. It was just one day he wasn't in it anymore.
Well, I mean,
that was kind of how wrestling was back then.
That's politics backstage for sure. But I just, the whole, for like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks after, it was like, I'm not a nugget. And the crowd chanting nugget, nugget,
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, dude, they're talking about him being a tiny piece of poop
that just won't flush.
But they keep the joke can't flush. Like the joke itself remains over and over and over. And like, it's meta as fuck. It's so funny because that's what makes it funny is that as a joke, it's a nugget. It's amazing. And do you remember somebody did an impression of Triple H at one point? It was The Rock, right? And he was like, I'm the schnoz. He called himself the schnoz or whatever.
I can't remember who did it.
Was
it The Rock?
Somebody did. I'm pretty sure The Rock did Triple H at one point. Had a prosthetic nose, a fake nose, and he's like, "I'm the schnoz" or something.
Well, I mean, I know there was the comedian, a no-name comedian that did an impression of Owen Hart and put on a fake nose, and he came out, calling himself the Nugget, and he had.
I remember that one.
Tape. But I can't. I'm trying to. I mean, maybe. Oh God, this memory is not unlocking for me.
I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a while, right? And I'm not nearly as well versed in this stuff as you and Dylan are, so I could be having a false memory.
Yeah, but I mean, anytime you want to talk wrestling, of course, let's jump on, especially if you're like, hey, you know what? I want to do a deep dive on what's his face.
I would like to do a deep dive on the history of wrestling, like the origins as like a carnival thing. The real wrestlers used to hurt each other until they didn't make enough money, so they stopped hurting each other and started faking it. And the carny aspect, the 1920s and 30s aspect. To me, I like that. I'm not as knowledgeable about like names and places, but the overarching themes of where wrestling was, where it went, where it's going, how McMahon kind of transformed it into mainstream. How it used to be taboo and people would have they'd feel ashamed of watching it, I think those all need to be talked about for sure. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, and luckily there's some footage of like the old times, like the 20s and 30s on YouTube, like basically silent films, so that
I love watching that. I love watching the old work before they had it all figured out. And because it's been going on since the late 1800s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because you think about it's like, because back then, they were working a match too. You can tell, like, you're like, okay, I'm seeing a head scissors. Okay, this isn't real.
Yeah.
No one, you're just not, that's just not how it's going to go down in real life. If you try a head scissors on somebody, it's not going to look like that. But like you see things like when they're doing moves for like the first time, like a brand new move, and nobody knows really how to react to it. It's like I talked about this on the Sid episode that I did with Dylan. It's like that first like year or so of Sid doing like the power bomb, he didn't really even know how to pick him up and drop him down exactly, and the guys didn't know how to like sell it real good. Now, like a year into it, I mean, it looked like a murder every time. It's like everybody got it. Yeah. It's like, okay, I know how to pick you up and put you down, and you know how to rattle around on the ground like you were just shot in the head. Yeah. It's funny. You could go down rabbit holes of like choke slams. Choke slam looked like absolute hot garbage for the first couple of years. Go back to like 1990 and 91 and look at the Undertaker's choke slams. They are the worst things on earth. You can tell he is lifting that guy with all of his strength and barely getting the guy off the ground, and they didn't know how to help each other. So like choke slams is a good example of like, hey, for like years, people didn't know how to like pretend. Sid was the first one to do a choke slam, and it actually looked right. Because I think he probably, I think he probably told the guy backstage, like, when I grab your neck, I'm gonna pull you toward me. That's when you jump, and I'm going to be pantomiming the lift, and then you're going to help me rotate you over into the slam. And I don't think Undertaker ever had that conversation with anyone until years later. But that's just me hurting out for one move in particular.
That's why I like to think about the opposite of something like that, like the jackhammer, where Goldberg has to walk around. He holds them up, so he's not jumping. No, he's not. He's holding that fucking guy. So when he wraps him and drops him, it looks good.
Yeah. No, it did. It always did, and except towards the end where just age and wrestling people too big. Did you see the botch against Undertaker in Saudi Arabia by any chance?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, Goldberg was going for the jackhammer on Undertaker in that match. Goldberg just too old and lost a lot of strength by that time, and Undertaker's just way, way, way too big and lanky anyway for it. Yeah. And when he got him up, they just both lost their balance, and he came down, and it looked like a really, really sloppy suplex or brainbuster. It looked like it legitimately hurt the fuck and almost crippled the Undertaker, but you could tell everybody was very unhappy. Like, that's what going back to, if you can't do something anymore, just don't do it. That's why in wrestling, it's like people have like finishers, but then they have secondary. It's one of the things I wanted to get into when me and Dylan were talking about Adam Page for a minute. It's like Adam Page in AEW doesn't have any moves that he can do to anybody, because at some point he's not going to be able to do that flip over lariat anymore because he'll be too goddamn old. He's going to flip over and break his leg, and his other moves involve him lifting the guy above his head. That's why the Stone Cold Stunner is like the most perfect move in the history of wrestling. He ain't lifting shit. All you got to do is just lean forward and fall over, and that's it. Even Linda McMahon, even the awful stunner she took, even she can kind of take the stunner. I could take the stunner right now if Stone Cold showed up and go, for no reason, I want you to take a stunner. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I could probably fake my way through it.
and for those of you playing along at home, he used to be called Stunning Steve. That's why it's called the stunner.
And he used to, God. And he got his start down here in Texas at the Sportatorium at the tail end of World Class Championship Wrestling. He used to have these beautiful tights. They looked like, remember Trapper Keeper? You know how Trapper Keeper had those like designs on them, like little purple and blue ribbons, I guess. He had basically Trapper Keeper tights for a couple of years until he's stunning Steve Austin, and he got picked that name was picked for him because his name is Steve Williams, and there's already a Dr. Death Steve Williams. So they were like, we don't want to muddy the territory. So how about Steve Austin? Unless you can think of something better, and he couldn't think of nothing better. So like, well, fucking Steve Austin, the $6 million man you are, sir. and it's a good name because a good name in wrestling doesn't guarantee you shit, but a bad name in wrestling will guarantee you will never, ever, ever main event WrestleMania. You know.
Yeah, I didn't see too much of him when I was a kid because I didn't see a lot of WCW, but now I can go back and watch all the stuff on the channel or whatever. And watching Steve Austin during the WCW years, he still did great work.
Yeah.
And I find it shocking that they did. I mean, they sort of utilized him, and they didn't ignore him or anything. But I just, it wasn't until that bad boy character that things took off. But he's been a solid wrestler the whole time, and I like watching him like against Sting or things. Because back when he's younger, I mean, he could get pretty wild. He didn't have that knee brace at that time, so
No, he was just real solid, real good. I mean, he was always near the top in WCW, always at that United States heavyweight title area. But more than likely, no matter what, he was never going to break into the world title picture because that's just how life is sometimes. Yeah. He needed to have the disillusionment of never being able to be a main eventer in WCW, to have that piss and vinegar for him going into ECW to cut those epic anti-WCW promos, and then that piss and vinegar eventually translated in WWE, even though that first year, and Dylan knows about this too, and I don't know if you remember that first year, he's the $1 million champion, and it sucked shit. It wasn't until King of the Ring where we were actually off to the races.
Yeah. Because there's also that weird stint where he was a ringmaster or whatever, and that was just
he was just the ringmaster. He does a Cobra Clutch, and it sucks. But that's if that's something you'd like to do one day, put together some bullet points or something, and we'll just riff away. We'll talk until we don't feel like talking anymore.
We'll bring Dylan in on the whole thing, and we'll do like a best funny moments. Or
speaking of funny moments, it's like now I can bring Dylan on. I was using the free version of this Streamlabs. I didn't know the free version ran out. I thought I was like, I can just do this every week for free. I'll just have limitations. And then I found out, like right before I was going to do the Sid episode with them, I clicked go live, and then it said, "No, motherfucker, you got to pay to keep doing this." Like, God damn it. But it's only $9 a month. I was like, okay. And now I can actually bring guests on, and I can do other shit when I have time to learn how to do this extra shit. You all are lucky that, like, if I did it correctly, there were comments that were supposed to pop up onto the screen when I saw an interesting one in the chat. So if anyone's in the chat, did it work? Did I actually bring comments up on the screen to be visible? Because I meant to do that, and I've been looking in the chat all day. Did I do that right, chat? So I don't know if anyone will be quick enough to answer, or if they all decided to tell me to go fuck myself. A. Thompson just came in here and said, I'm doing this just as an example. My parrot just flew in here, looked at the TV, saw Harley, said, "What the fuck," and flew out. Well, thank you for that. Okay. Spurg is answering me and saying, yes, it worked. I was actually able to do one new thing today, and that was to bring comments onto the screen, because you wouldn't be able to see it because you're in guest mode.
Well, I found out how to turn the chat on, so now I am reading the chat. So sorry, guys, I'm new at this too.
Yeah, we're all new. That's why I'm just like, I don't hide anything about. I think one thing that's interesting for any audience is don't pretend the behind the stage stuff doesn't happen. Just talk about it. To me, it's a story about how, like, oh shit, I thought this fucking thing was free and I could just use it forever with limitations. I didn't know not only is it going to have limitations, but it's limited time only. So if you want to keep using it at all, you better cough up $9. And the $9 is like, yeah, this is the shitty version. If you want the cool stuff, and I'm like, I don't want the cool stuff. I'm not, until I've got till I am making money, and I don't, the world doesn't guarantee you shit. Until the day that I'm making money, I ain't putting no more than my $9 because of Captain Inflation. And Kip Smith is reminding me, yay, I did it. And I brought it up on the screen to say, yay, I did it. But okay, so, and it's going to haunt me. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to be like, why didn't I ask this? Why didn't I bring up that? Why didn't I ask this? Why didn't I bring up that?
I got time. I'm not in a hurry or anything. So if you need any final closing thoughts, we can do that.
Well, let's see. Final thoughts. We know that you have your channel. Have you shouted out? Okay, this is what I need you to do in the private chat. Can you copy and paste your channel and put that in the private chat so I can turn around? Or, I mean, if you're logged in, you could just put it in the regular chat for me.
I'm looking at the screen. It says sending messages is only supported for hosts. Enjoy the stream, learn more. So,
okay.
I'm not going to promote the channel because I'm going to get 100 subscribers and I got to kill the thing. So, if people want to find me, Matt Hibner, or go on the Cinemassacre Truth, you'll know me when you see my posts because I have that flavor.
Just watch his channel, but never subscribe to it.
Exactly. and don't tell your friends. Don't share my shit.
Unless you tell them with strict instructions about, like, if you don't subscribe, you can like the video and you watch it beginning to end, and it might even help it if you watch it on a browser that you don't have like ads disabled, so maybe even watch the ad. But whatever you do, don't you fucking subscribe to this goddamn thing, or you'll pull the fucking plug on it instantly. But now I guess one of the things I was gonna bring up is, like, because of Benny, you found out about Dylan. You're watching the Dylan show where he's breaking down, him and Spurg are breaking down the AVGN book, and now you got your foot into the Dabbleverse a little bit. Have you been watching any of these like Dabbleverse comedian shows?
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you been watching?
I watch whatever Dylan covers, whatever Snake covers, whatever Luigi Greenberg covers, whatever Deft covers, whatever Sam Bibley covers. The people that are in the Devilverse that are my subscribers, I subscribe back to them.
Oh yeah.
And so that's where I get my stuff from. I hear things vicariously in the chats of places. So I like Shmuel Buckman, I've never watched anything from him before. I have no idea who he is. But when he had, Toby from Smack the Boobies, I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna watch him, and like that's kind of how I do. I float around. I never have a direction. I never know where I'm going. The wind takes me, and I don't fight it.
That's very poetic. The wind takes me. I don't fight it.
Yeah.
If you didn't invent it, you're the inventor. You better copyright that thing today.
I stole it from something somewhere. I have no original thoughts. All my jokes are stolen. If you guys watch my videos, every joke was taken from either Ren and Stimpy, Kids in the Hall, or something equivalent to 90s comedy television, or Bimmy. Stole a lot of Bimmy jokes. I like to have building blocks to build stuff with. Every building block comes from something different, right? Like even something like Bobby Heenan. Yeah. They're gonna say, oh well, wrestling. No, he's a comedic genius. That guy's fucking sharp as a tack. So if I can learn comedy from him, that's one more building block to build with. And so I have a lot of building blocks, and not everything comes out right. Some of my jokes come out a little crooked and they fall down and not that great, but it's fun and it's a hobby. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for fame or fortune.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because the immediate people that I hang out with, they have a hard time being available, or they're just not able to cut loose comedically. You know, I haven't been a part of something creative with a collaboration for at least 15 years.
Oh God,
You know,
that's a hot minute.
yeah. Like I said, remember I told you before, I'm an isolationist kind of person, right? Like
Yes.
I still am. Not. It's not that I don't have friends. It's just that I don't share my innermost thoughts or feelings with them. I feel more comfortable sharing it with strangers on the internet. Is that weird? Probably. So
Not really, because then you can like be your true self. No, there's not really, if you do it right, okay, then there's no repercussions for you just letting your true self out to me. Because,
yeah,
I don't know where you live. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to be deeply offended by something you say, try to get your boss to can you or anything like that. So
yeah,
that's where that's the advantage of like, kind of, semi anonymously getting your stuff out there on the internet, as opposed to like that, that real life friend or whatever, or even worse, like a friend at work. Because you say the wrong thing to a friend at work, that can have repercussions. So, no,
yeah.
I get that. I mean, you talk about like Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall to me was like, it was like the first like sketch show or anything like that I swear it felt like it was written for me. I was like,
Oh
this
yeah,
is my kind of comedy. This is the
oh
kind of
yeah,
shit. This is the random shit. Like, you might have done this too. I used to draw comic strips in school that were
oh yeah.
completely off the wall, bizarre. Just they were meant to be nonsensically funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to compete with anybody. I was just like, I had characters like, yeah, I had this character. It was an Aztec Indian that wore the full headdress, and his name was Dr. Gigglesworth, and he was a toothbrush salesman.
That's
So
great.
that
That's great. I
that,
love it.
that was the shit that I did in school. It wasn't to make sense. I was wanting to make 5 people laugh. I was wanting to make 5 of my friends laugh. And that's what we would do. We would just kind of go around and just nonsense. So then Kids in the Hall comes on, and I kind of feel like, oh, these guys would have sat at my lunch table.
Yeah.
They would have got what I'm doing, and I get what they're doing, and I really get what they're doing. And there's so many of their sketches that just like in a vacuum I can quote to this day. I mean, so many. I mean, sausages.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
the best one. That is their best sketch, and it got Bruce McCullough in a lot of trouble because it was their highest budget sketch,
oh
and
yeah.
and they all didn't really want to do that because they didn't want to piss off the studio. But he's like, guys, we got to do it. We got to do it. And lo and behold, dude, it's better than most David Lynch movies, and that's what it's drawing from. It's so good. It's so funny. It's uncomfortable. It challenges you, really.
It's dark, and you can't really explain why. It's just because it's shot the way it's shot, in a way you think it's
Yeah.
like David Lynchy dark. There's something
Yeah.
more malicious going on than what really is going on the screen.
They live in a dystopian world where like the sausage company is all powerful and like controls their fate. And they live in like a Soviet block with like gray houses and shit.
Yeah.
And every day he walks to work, he has that clicker. And he's
Click,
clickety,
click,
clickety,
click, click,
clickety.
click, click,
And it's
click,
like,
click,
this is
click.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And most people watch that, they're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You're not supposed to get it.
Not
There's
really
nothing to
supposed
get.
to get
You
it.
got played. You got had, fool. You got trolled by brilliant fucking geniuses. And again, it goes back to like, imagine if that sketch had lore and backstory and a sequel, and it would ruin everything.
Oh yeah, it would.
Like, I don't want to know where the sausage company comes from or how they gain power over the world. It doesn't matter. It's not part of the fun. It's just a theme. It's a painting. Like Mona Lisa doesn't need to be a real person.
I don't need to what she did. What did she do for a living? Was she married? Did she have kids? I just need to know that's the woman on the painting.
And there are people out there right now, trying to figure out who she is and why he painted her. Was it really him making himself into a woman or something? Who fucking cares, bro? Does it really diminish the beauty or add to it to know the truth? No. right? It takes away from
Not everything needs a backstory. Can help some things.
yeah.
Some things just, just let it. Let's the great thing about these Kids in the Hall sketches, like the one sketch about them, they just have their arms soaking in water full of fish. We don't need to know the real reason why. We
Yeah.
just know it's a ridiculous visual. And then one day they're obsolete because they brought in the mannequin arm 2000 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I do take it back. There is one time that adding lore was great, and it's when they explain where Chicken Lady comes from.
Oh, God.
That shit was great.
Fresh out of my body and onto your plate.
Right? Well, then, like her first memory is hatching from the egg, and like the mom looks over at the dad, like, "What did you do? What did you do?" She's like,
"Oh, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do." It's like,
Dad. Yes. No.
Oh.
That shit was great.
Because it was like, okay, because at some point, Chicken Lady looks over to pictures of Mom and Dad, and Mom is just like a painting of just some chicken, and then Dad is a picture of a guy like, "Don't take my photograph, you motherfucker."
Yeah.
The chicken. Oh my God!
It's like she threw a party, and they found like the nerdy kid, and they fucking blindfolded him and put him in the room with her and like locked him in. And he's like, "It's not. What's going on, guys? It's not funny." And then. Yeah. And then she fucking, I mean, she rapes him. Like she rapes a teenage boy. And I'm laughing my fucking head off. Like this is wrong somehow. Like, but it's very genius to do that. So
they were one of the few people that could make they could make that funny. Kind of like the bear sketch where the whole time there's someone talking, it's like, if you encounter a bear, make sure to go limp or roll or something. But what you're seeing on the screen is a homosexual bear wanting to take Kevin McDonald home and fuck him in the asshole.
Yeah. Do you remember A Girl Drink Drunk?
God damn, yes. Fuck, yes. My God. That one's so funny because that's what I used to call myself. It's because I won't drink nothing unless it's fruity and looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm kind of halfway there, but like it's a story of an alcoholic losing his job, losing his life, and then make it funny. Like that's fucking brilliant. And
the way they shot it. Okay, there's the scene where it's like where Dave Foley is like running down the street, right? And they have these special effects of all these different bars that he's going by. And I'm like, man, it's almost like Citizen Kane in a sense. And it's a comedy sketch.
It's noir. It's film noir for sure. And my favorite gag in the whole thing was that like he gets to a point where he has to drink at work.
Yeah.
And he goes into the fucking like supply closet with a blender. And he's like, I'm looking for paper clips. And
he's looking for paper clips.
Fucking amazing, Like,
and the first time he comes out, he has that right amount of alcohol where he's even. He's at that point of alcoholism that I've met these people. It's like, they've got to drink something to be normal, to function. And then he's told something by the secretary, whatever. I think the boss wants to see you in 5 minutes or something. And that like freaks him out. It's like, well, I've got to drink more to deal with this. So he goes
he goes back in again, and then he goes to the boss's office, and the boss is like, "Can I make a drink for you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'd like a chocolate choo-choo." And then the boss has to take like 20 minutes to make the fucking drink for him just to fire the guy.
I still remember.
It's so good.
The boss props his feet up like this, and you can see where he uses that stuff to like cover cracks on his shoes. I don't know why that stuck into my head. And he goes, I can't help but blame myself for this, but I also can't pretend to care.
Yeah, right. It's so good.
It just, I mean, I mean, maybe the last year the quality went down, maybe, but they started out strong and stayed strong pretty much that whole original run. I mean, maybe the 1994 going to 95 sketches, I mean, they're not as memorable. I know that much. But I mean, there's another group I just go on forever. In fact, I have a I have a sad story about Kids in the Hall. Um, remember earlier this episode, I told you about my time in Brownsville, Texas. Like, when me and that girl were breaking up, and I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm the only white guy here. And I really had to get away from that's a whole sordid, not fun at all story that's best suited for let's talk about breakups. If Mazzy ever wants to talk about breakups, if she's still with us. And thanks for stopping by, man. Mazzy's saying she's getting some sleep. Hey, thank you for sticking with us as long as you did, Mazzy. And I would like you to come on sometime. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. If you do, that's great. Love to talk to you, one way or the other. Just me and you. And we talk about. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk about breakups. Cool. Yeah. If you want to, no pressure. I mean, because I know, Matt, you're not as familiar with Mazzy's lore in the Dabbleverse, but she's had some pretty historic breakups. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to ruin her story at all. So, Mazzy, and I'm this again, me being a total professional broadcaster with my shitty microphone. Mazzy, let me know some days, some nights that you're available. I normally do this shit on Sunday evenings, but for you, young lady, I'll make an exception if Sunday evenings aren't the best for you. So if you just, let me know. We'll go from there. And if you're just being polite, then hurry up and block me so I don't get my feelings hurt. But my story, my sad story was when me and that love of my life of that time were coming to an end. I was sort of meeting someone new, but I made the decision. It's like, man, I don't fit in here. Me and this girl are breaking up. We are breaking up, and I really need to get the hell out of this town and put as much distance as I can as possible. And all my family and stuff was up in, Virginia, Ohio, those regions. So I was like, I didn't have very much money at all to my name at that time. I'm talking hundreds of dollars to my name. That's it. And I don't mean on the high end either. I mean, I think I had $500 in the bank, but me and this girl's relationship was over, and I needed to just get out of there because I wasn't going to make it on my own, or even if I wanted to stay in that town. I wouldn't have been able to afford rent and my car payment and the blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't have been able to. It would have been impossible. I'd have been homeless. So when we were breaking up, I was like, okay, I just got in contact with my family. It's like, you were right. I need to come home. You haven't rented out my old bedroom, have you? No, you can come home. And I was like, okay, thank God. So, but on the way out, I started talking to a new girl, right? But I wasn't really talking to her because I knew I was leaving. There was no chance that I was going to hook up and fall in love and move in with somebody in a matter of days. And I found out this girl was also, just like us, gigantic Kids in the Hall fans. Gigantic Kids in the Hall fans. She could quote everything. And I'm just falling in love that quick because of a shared interest like that. We're talking about the sausage sketches, like how you're talking about. We're not just saying, oh, it was funny. She's going into reasons why, and it was filmed like this, and it reminds you of this classic film. And the second day I was even talking to her at the job that I had with her, she gave me I wish I had a good prop nearby I could show you, but a set of shit. I did have it, but not anymore. A set of pins, you could put on your clothes, like Flair, 37 pieces of Flair. they were all Kids in the Hall pins. I was like, what the fuck?
Whoa,
I was like,
that's
holy
cool.
shit. And they were, they were still in the package. Like, holy shit, really? I can have this? And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I was like, I was like, but again, I knew I was days, like 2 or 3 days, because all my shit was in my car, in my shitty 2002 Ford Escort. Everything I owned was in that car. If someone would have broke into that car anytime, they would have cleaned me out.
Yeah.
And then like the day after it, I come to work, and I'm starting to say my official goodbyes. Like, yeah, it's about, this is the last day, everybody. She's tearful, and we're sharing some jokes about kids and all. She's like, I got a present for you before you go. And remember, this is like the year 2000. She gives me 12 videotapes that she was able to record off of not Comedy Central, some other comedy channel where it got all the uncensored sketches, like
Oh,
how they
good.
did on
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
The entire seasons, everything. She gave me this
Wow.
giant bag of of the Kids in the Hall seasons, and
And
my
you,
heart
you
was.
proposed to her immediately, right? I
I,
mean,
I wanted to. I mean, I
oh
think I
man.
rambled out something like.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I might have. I'm not going to swear to it one way or the other, but I might have rambled out something that's like, "Is there any way we could move in together tomorrow?" And I don't know, but I really wanted to, because I could feel it. I could feel it. And this was before
Yeah.
social media. This is
Yeah.
before anything.
It's
And
rare. It's
and
rare to find that. Yeah.
I didn't have my own cell phone. I mean,
Yeah.
off the grid. Like, you not having a Twitter is off the grid to me. Like, like I had
Yeah.
I had jack shit. I had I had a landline telephone at my mom and dad's house in Virginia. That's what I had.
Yeah.
And I was in Brownsville, Texas. So what's a lot of good at that landline telephone with me? I didn't even have the forethought to think, do you have an email address that we could maybe keep in touch with? And then, I got in the car and left. That's the last I ever saw her. I had those tapes for probably a decade before one day I had to say, you know what? Yeah, I got to start cleaning some of this shit out. But that's
Yeah.
well, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that story. I just wanted to tell it because I don't know that I'll ever be able to tell that story again in real life or on this shit. I hope anybody. Yeah, hope you got something out of it.
Well, I mean, maybe she's watching right now. Do you know her name? Remember her name?
I don't remember anything. She was Latina, I think.
The love of my life that got away. I don't remember anything about her.
I think she was attractive. I think she was a woman.
Wow. You don't remember the car lurching when she got in the car, right?
No, I don't remember that. I do
Okay.
have one. But by you saying this, you stretched this out another couple of minutes.
Okay.
After a breakup, I was hitting all, and this is in 2014. I was hitting all the dating sites. I was swiping left haphazardly. As long as you looked kind of okay, I was swiping right on you. I didn't read your profile. Right. And I get a date with this one young lady. We talk a little bit on the phone. It sounds like, this sounds kind of fruitful. She gives me directions to where I can pick her up at her apartment. She left out one key thing. And remember, she sent me pictures after picture after picture, but she left out when she came out to meet me at the car that she was 7 months pregnant. Just whoopsie daisy, it slipped her mind. So I got out of my car and I'm like, is that her? Is that her? Oh my God, is that her? And I'm like, I'm not a jerk, guys. I mean, I don't know how many are still, I mean, I've been accidentally saying, guys, we're going to be wrapping up about 45 minutes ago. So if it's just me and you, Matt, it's just me and you. But I promise I'm not a jerk in any way on my meds or before I used to need meds.
You're all right. This is classic Dr. Harley right here, where there's nobody coming on after you. There's no commercial break. There's no it's over when it's over. It'll play itself out, and then that'll be it.
Well, I got out and I just pretended like I knew. I was like, "Oh, great to see you. Hey, be careful now. Be careful. There, it's a little. There's some cracks in the sidewalk here. Open the door for her." She even had to do the thing where she put her hand on her belly while I held her other hand to lower her into my car gently. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're a dad. You've had to help your lady into a car before.
Yeah, but not on a first date.
And it was your kid. It's your kids.
Oh, bro. This is a great story. So
I'm just like, I'm just going to pretend I knew the whole time. And I don't even know that I need to do this. I think this lady knows she's taking me for a sucker because I already promised her Cheesecake Factory, and we all know Cheesecake Factory ain't cheap. So I was like, I already promised we're fucking going and we're gonna have a great time.
You can't buy her a drink. You can't.
No,
there's nothing you could do with this. I mean,
except blow it up in her without having to worry about nothing. The damage has been done.
Yeah, but I mean that's sloppy seconds in a weird kind of way, where it's like not only has the vagina been used, but somebody else's baby is in there.
That baby weird. Might get hit with friendly fire. Yeah,
I don't want to jizz on somebody else's kid. That's fucking wild, man. Like,
don't clip that.
Too late. It's over. My YouTube career is over officially. Thanks for nothing. The Dr. Harley Quinn show is where careers go to die.
Oh my God, I just got a notification from YouTube and it just says, fuck both you guys. It says from President YouTube, it's over.
The algorithm is onto us officially now. We're being watched.
So we go to Cheesecake Factory and I was just like, just making as polite small talk as I could make for the whole thing, not trying to be obvious. I'm not going to say anything, hey, you should have told me you're cooking someone else's sperm in you right now or anything like that. And I'm just like, yeah, so what do you like? Oh, you like the band Disturbed? I don't know much about their catalog and, and so on and so forth. And then on the way home, because I'm just gonna drop her off and say goodbye. Hey, this was a great time. I'm glad I got to meet you. I'm not gonna lead her on, but I'm not gonna say anything, bad either. Yeah. Before she got out of my car, she pregnant farted in my fucking car, and it was the eggiest, hot, rotten egg fart I have ever breathed up my nose in my life. It was like the egg yolk had mustard in it and veins. It was the worst thing I ever saw. I was like, and just making noises. I'm like, my body doesn't know how to react to this. This is why you wear gas masks. Oh my God, Jesus.
I thought you were going to tell me that she leaned over and gave you a blowjob. And instead you tell me that she fucking bombed you, bro.
They fucking bombed me with the worst.
Yeah, because the pheromones of a woman who's already been claimed is the pheromones just go away. It's if she's hot as fuck, then maybe just maybe the fart might appeal to you. That's not my kind of bag, but
my bag.
Yeah, when women get pregnant, just for all the guys out there who don't know this, the pheromones do change.
Mm-hmm.
And you know. So I feel for you, buddy. I feel because, and not only that, but their cravings, of course, legendary cravings.
Oh yeah, she was eating weird shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but it wasn't like the classic like eating pickles, but it was like the weirdest shit. Like not like they don't have a bloomin' onion there, but it was something the equivalent of a bloomin' onion. Ugh, it was nasty.
Yeah, bloomed all right.
But I let her, I let her out and said my goodbyes, and that was the one time the passenger seat of my car did not get licked by me. That one was like, hell no, I'm not licking that one. I'm going home. So like I already could taste it up my nose anyway. So I thought maybe we should leave everybody on a good note.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Let's see what. Goddamn, I don't know what else. But you know what? If you take a notion to start, I didn't know. Let her out. Yeah, let her out. I did not eat her out. A. Thompson. I did not eat her out, or the seat that she was sitting in. I did not smell it either. I did vacuum it later to get the rest of the egg out of the
the residue.
It left the yellow dust in my vacuum machine. Have you went live on your own yet? Yeah. You have? Okay, I didn't know if you have. If you ever want me to come on, if you go live, just let me know. You got my email. If I was you, I would at some point make a Twitter. You don't have to use your real name. You could be Captain. You could be like, like at the joke I made forever. You call yourself the Eradicator, like the old Kids in the Hall. And that's the name that I use to make fun of the I don't know, the bad faith chatters. I won't go down that road for now. They're bad faith chatters. You could just make one of those if you don't want to be known as having a Twitter. You call yourself Captain Frisbee Car Velocity Vase Machine. I don't know, but it was great talking to you. I feel like we reconnected after high school, even though we didn't go to high school together.
I mean, we're everything in nature has archetypes, right? Like,
yeah,
you can take a fish and it's the same as another fish, but they're not the same. Like there's differences in everything. There's similarities in everything, and it's not necessarily geographical. Whatever cloth you're cut from is an old cloth that I'm cut from. Maybe 10,000 years ago, we fought some mammoths together. And now we're here. So
I call it my version of what you're saying is I think there's like X amount of hives in the universe, and regardless geographically where we live, we all belong to, like, me and you come from that same hive.
Yeah.
So like me, you, Dylan, Spurg, the people in the chats, like, we could see, and like Spurg's heard me talk about this. We talk about, we call it, the lunch table. Like, my version of the lunch table in high school was the people that, like, because I'm into death metal. So there's death metal people, there's the wrestling people, the overall nerd culture, comic books, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So, but like, that's what my table was set up as kind of like almost the, overused misfit table, I guess you could say. People didn't exactly fit in anywhere else, and I can see like you and these other people sitting at my table and having a good old time.
Back in high school, we would go under the bleachers and go smoke cigarettes where no one could see us. And so there's not a lot of kids back there, but those are the kids that you want to hang out with. So that's where I'm at. So
we had that, and like what we were talking about earlier with like truancy and stuff.
Yeah.
This one guy I went to school with. Okay, the whole reason he wanted. God damn, this is such a weird story, but hell, I'll tell it because it's fucking me. And if you're here for the bonus shit, okay, there's this one guy I went to school with. He's like, man, I need to skip school. And I go, why? It's like, because I've got to shit. It's like, well, I mean, they have bathrooms here at the school. It's like, I don't want to shit in the bathroom. I'll get molested. I was like, you're not that hot. It's like, if anyone was going to get molested, it'd be me in the bathroom at school, not you. And he's like, no, I can't poop at school. Please skip school with me so I can go somewhere poop. So I remember I skipped school one time, and we because the trick was the vocational school buses would show up at second period, so we could run behind the vocational and run into the woods and then weave our way back to our suburb area. And we got back there, and old dude goes, I can't hold it anymore. And he had to shit in the woods, and there was something to wipe with but leaves. And I'm just back there just dying laughing, just hearing shh, 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 of him scooping up leaves, wiping his behind.
The shame, right? That's the sound of shame. That's the fucking sound of shame, dude.
I was like, you sure? You sure? This is the outcome. This is the better outcome. You shitting 5 feet from me behind that tree and wiping your ass with rained on, wet, and crunchy leaves.
Yeah. Watch out for bugs.
Watch out for bugs. What if there's a bear or something? Yeah, so memory unlocked. But yeah, let's stream more in the future. If anything, it'll be like it'll just, we can just bullshit around. And like that bonus thing that Dylan did the other day, that thing was just fucking fun. We were just it was just all 5 of us just screaming random shit for 2 hours.
That shit got spicy.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. It's like I wouldn't put any of that stuff on any resumes you send out to any future employers.
Yeah. Yeah, that stream actually might get me in trouble, but I'm glad it's not public. It's members only, so thank God for that.
So unless future employer is like kind of like, I want to be a members only to this. What the fuck is that guy? That guy just applied to be my vice president. Well, let's see what he has to say.
I told my worst joke, and if you so that the joke that I told, the worst joke. When I first prank called my lolcow, back when he used to take phone calls, I offered to tell him that joke on his stream, and he's like, "Is it something that might get me in trouble?" And I said, "Probably." And he's like, "Well, let's not tell that joke then." And it's just like, "You bitch, coward."
Oh, I won most offensive. That's what Dylan said. The bonus show was fun as fuck. It's behind the paywall. Harley won most offensive. Yay! I won an award.
You got high score like twice that crazy.
It sounds. My joke sounds like we're talking about David Lynch. I'm winking, or is it blinking? I can't wink. I can only blink, which is bad for me because my nickname growing up was Harley Winkles. But I don't know. Yeah. Well, it's time for me to take some meds and drink a beer. What about you?
Yeah, wrap it up. Get ready for bed.
Wait, are you off tomorrow? Is that what you said earlier? Oh, thank Christ. Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that I'm off tomorrow, too. Thank fucking God. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Guys,
it's
okay.
That's why I was willing to go a little longer, but it was fun. Thank you for having me, man.
No, it's all good. I mean, I just thought, I wish you could, if you jumped into my brain, you'd be like, oh my God, it's a wonder this guy can make words. But I think we need to make a call to action to everybody for tomorrow. It's like somebody somewhere's got to stream something so we can jump on them bullshit.
I'm not sure. Spurs Nick does his Monday night game time thing. That
yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's on Mondays, right? Yeah.
Maybe he'll do it if he's not busy. But we're always around doing something. I mean, I usually do Saturday nights. I stream Saturday nights. I usually watch like old cartoons or.
That's why you gotta, it's like, that's why, again, it's easier for people like me, like Twitter, because I mean, checking email is very intermittent for me.
Mm.
I mean, I think you're the actual first human I've emailed that I knew was a human on the other end in years.
Really? Oh, I'm deeply honored.
I mean,
I'm old school, so I
most of
usually go ahead.
yeah, most of my emails, they're just, here's the receipt from where you paid your electric bill.
Mm.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
everything in my email is just like, reminder, your credit card bill is due. Thank you for your credit card payment. Thank you for your electric bill payment. And then
Yeah.
once in a while, when it's like, when I feel beat up by the job that I have right now, and I start sending out, resumes and applying on Indeed and shit, then I'll, that sort of shit too. But I don't think I've had an actual honest to God interaction on email. Well, before you, for years and years and years. Except, well, one ex-girlfriend found one of my emails and sent me like a random fuck you out of nowhere. And that was kind of nice. Like, oh, I haven't heard from her in a while. I still just wanted to let you know you're a piece of shit. Well, you fucking bitch.
She still thinks about me.
She still thinks about me. There's still a chance.
Hey, dude. Hey, you know women, bro. I mean, if she wasn't thinking about you, she wouldn't be doing that. So,
God damn it, I wasn't on my meds then, so I didn't put those two and two together. I should have.
it's like they tease you in the schoolyard when they like you. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I mean, well, if I'm not being too nosy, how long have you been married now?
10 years.
10 years, right? So, like, you at some point, both you and her were picking up what the other one was putting down, like as far as like hints and whatnot. I like you, you like me, yada yada yada. And like
we were friends. We were friends for 2 years before we even dated at all.
Oh,
okay. And in my circle of friends, even my male friends were just like, dude, she's always helpful and nice and on time and generous, and like, I mean, she fit in just immediately. And no woman I've ever dated or friends with or anything just fit in with all my friends. And so that was kind of like, okay, well, let's hang out. And so, like I said, 2 years goes by and I'm doing those beach party things. I'm hosting a lot of parties. Mm-hmm. I'm coming out of my shell. I'm coming out of my isolationist shell. And she was there to help out with all that and be there for that. And one day we're sitting on the couch at my house, and I was talking about some broad that I was talking to. She was talking about some guy she's talking to. And we both just started laughing at the absurdity of our dating lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I really enjoy your company. The laughing that we were sharing at that moment, laughing at other people, their bullshit, it just hit like fucking lightning, dude. Like, I'm looking at the person I should have been with this whole fucking time.
Oh, okay.
You know? And just, that was it. I mean, it was natural. It was we vetted each other thoroughly, and to this day, I would never have married any of the women I've ever met in my entire life. I'm guarded. I'm very personal. I just, like, not that women can't be trusted, but like if you give them too much, they'll take it. And it's reciprocity, right? Like I give you this much love, you give me this much love. Not more, not less, like not one person putting in more work than the other person. It's really equal 50-50. I thought that shit was in storybooks and fucking TV or whatever. Like, my wife is my best friend. Oh, that's bullshit. My wife is my best friend.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's crazy.
I mean, I can tell when I had the good relationships that, maybe I blew it, maybe she blew it, maybe it was a little bit of both. But like, yeah, you were in that mode where you're like, oh, this girl is my best friend. And I'm still honestly attracted to her. Like, sex isn't a chore. Yeah. It is something I am genuinely aching to do tonight with her. Yeah. But in recent years, it's like, this is the curse that I have currently. It's like, I guess it's not the worst thing. The worst thing would be nothing at all. But like, I can't find a girlfriend, but I can find plenty of girls that want to piss off their parents or their ex-boyfriend. But that's short term. And usually with them, and I'm not saying it like I'm bragging, as I ain't bragging, because I would fix it if I could. I think, I think when they realize that there's too much going on with me in here I can't be fixed, because a lot of girls, they deny that, like, they deny that they want a fixer upper, but they want to know that there's a chance that they can fix them up. Like, if there's no chance, that there's none at all, then they're eventually out.
Yeah.
And they find out that there's no fixing me up exactly. So they say goodbye. And that's my curse. So I can't get that girlfriend, because I'm going to have to find someone with the same kind of level of kind of harmless lunacy, if that makes sense. Because I'm not doing the bad stuff anymore. I'm not setting fires anymore. You know, they took away my flamethrower. You know, but
I used to throw glass bottles out of cars on the freeway.
And now you realize, as a full-on sensible grown up, oh my fucking God, I could have really done something.
I know, like hella dumb shit.
But back then, you're just like, I'm a prick. I don't care. Woo! Yeah. That's funny. And but that's what happened. Like the last one, it was one of the walks I go on. It leads to like a little hippie kind of gay yoga place, and that's where I like to do my exercises. So I'll walk from here and through this area of DFW. There's lots of shopping centers and stuff, and the girls that work in these shopping centers here, they've gradually got to know me. They don't know about this exactly, but they know about this, and they'll talk to me, based on that. And like there was this one I had been talking to randomly on my walk to do the yoga and all this stuff, to just try to ground myself and not live inside of here 24/7. And this one girl I was talking to, well, she made it clear she had a boyfriend. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be inappropriate. I just, if I get a friend out of this is all good. So I'd see her, I'd stop in, talk for a minute. Like, hey, how's life treating you? Any crazy stories going on here this week? Anyone try to steal any jewelry? Ha 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 ha. And then I would try do my best not to overstay my welcome. It's like, well, I'm going to go do my yoga, and I'll see you on the way back. Going back and forth one day, finally she just I do the same thing. It's like, hey, how you doing? Anything new going on this week? She's like, yeah, my boyfriend beat me up and threw me out of the house. I'm like, oh my God, Jesus. So I'm talking to her about what happened, and I didn't fish for this. I did not fish for this compliment at all. I was just like, what happened? I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, have you got a plan together yet? Or are you going back to your parents? Do you have a place set up yet? If you haven't got this together yet, you need to think of a plan. And while I'm doing all that, she just stops me in the middle of it, and she puts her hand on me, and she goes, I just want to let you know you're the favorite part of my week. Every week when you stop by here to talk to me, you just talk to me like a human, and it does so much for me. I was like, holy shit, I might have a fucking girlfriend.
That's strong. That's a strong, statement. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to strike while the iron's hot. And I'm like, grab a piece of paper, made sure I wrote my number as bright and gigantic as humanly fire. Okay, I'm looking at it and I'm reading it. It's like, that's my number. That is my phone number. And I'm like, okay. It's like, if you need to talk, anything at all, need to talk, need to text, anything at all. Give me a ring, give me a text. And it's been a week and I haven't heard nothing. That's my curse.
Oh, you got to keep at it, though.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is that I've had 2 long-term relationships previous to this. Both of them lasted 6 years. One of them died of alcoholism, and the other one stole $30,000 from me.
Ah.
So even long-term love, whatever, it can end pretty fucking bad. And it's why my wife is kind of a fluke, because after both of those, I was like, I'm never gonna settle down, never gonna have kids, never gonna get married, never, never, never. And it happened.
A.
So,
Thompson is suggesting I go find her and send her the link.
yes.
I should go see if she's still working right now. He's like, hey, join my stream. Hey,
Dude,
Thompson.
honestly,
Yeah.
that can work. I have a buddy, Lord Taco. He
Uh-huh.
found his girlfriend by streaming. She was a fan of his.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
it
heard
can
about
happen.
that. In the Dabbleverse, in Shuli's chat, there were two random chatters in there that I don't think they ever even streamed. I think they were just chatters that got along so much that they took it offline and found out they were attracted to one another in more than one ways. And I heard that they got
Right?
married a couple of months ago. Same,
Yeah.
I mean, like I was telling you at the beginning of the stream here today, it's like my friend moved to Canada and got married. I met a girl off of, it didn't work out, obviously, or I probably wouldn't be sitting here today looking silly.
Come on.
I too had met a girl in real life off of a message board that we hit it off so good that it turned into a 2-year relationship that went down in flames. But before the flames started, it was very good. I don't know. I mean, definitely don't come here for relationship talk, because I mean, I can tell you what not to do. That would be my relationship talk. Like when I can be an honest Monday morning quarterback with myself, I can tell people what they shouldn't do, but I can still be like, yeah, I know I'm not the one that made all the mistakes, but I can look back and go, okay, maybe this time this wasn't the best way to go about something. But before we go, I still wanted to wrap up. Hey, Thompson, didn't you break your leg or something a couple of months back or something? Or am I like completely making this up in my brain? I swear I saw you writing about how like you were going through like therapy or something. If so, I would love to know like how your health is these days, because well, you told me about it, and now I have to know. I have to know. Do you have both of your legs? So, if you can, if he tore his Achilles, oh my god!
Yeah, dude. That's painful.
I guess that's the reason why they call it the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be your Achilles heel, so I guess we'll wrap it up for tonight. I'm going to experiment with something. It's my new experiment. When I say goodbye, an outro video should play. So if you could stick around for that, Matt, it'll be about 1.5 minutes long to give someone some soothing music to listen to on the way out. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for now, because my throat's about to go, and I'm all out of this.
Yeah, don't become like a JR and blow your voice out.
Oh no, it'll be a slobber knocker. Guys, everybody that stayed to the end, A. Thompson, Dylan, Spurg, thank you so much. Thank you to Mazzy if you decided to come back and watch the rest of a stream. I know most people don't go back and finish a live stream, but in case you do, thank you anyway. And now I am hitting end stream, and music should play. And, well, not yet. Play outro and end stream.